All right, all right, all right. All right, all right, all right. Let's get ready to go live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, Wayfarer. I hope you're doing well. Wherever you are, whoever you are, and whenever you may be receiving this transmission, Frank Monday broadcasting to you from the central kingdom of the celestial dragon and twilight zone, old Peking far behind the bamboo firewall. Welcome, wizard, warrior, wanderer, wayfarer, and wildcat alike. If you've got a yen to expand your kin, then you're in the right place to get zen. Make sure you check me out on buymeacoffee.com/Frank Monday. Put a little something in the tip jar. That'll put the jelly in my donut. And as a result, I'll be keeping my nose to the grindstone for y'all good-looking, sexy people out in Happy Land. Welcome, one and all. This old Frank Monday Productions coming at ya.
Okay guys, our next comedian, it's a bit of a treat, to be honest. It is a bit of a treat. He's been away for 3 years. He is now back from the dead. Well, America. Give a big round of applause for Frank Monday. Did anyone want to repeat it?
Thank you, Nick. Appreciate that shit. Nick's a good man. You know what that's like, being a good man. It's tough in a fucking city like this, though. You know, nobody gives a fuck. They're like, God damn, that's some crazy shit. Motherfucker wearing high heels and shit. Looking good, too, huh? Yeah, you guys like that. That's all right. It's okay to fall down occasionally. I do that sometimes. All right, being back in the G is pretty fucking nerve-wracking. You know, performing for 4 minutes straight. The only other time I get this anxious when I gotta perform for 4 minutes straight is when I gotta make love to my wife.
Onion ring. Yeah, they're all right.
Hey, be watching for the Star Wars blog Rebellion coming out in December. You'll love it. It's follow-up to the award-winning Generations. Oh yeah. There you go, Frank.
Here's my burger. All right. Next up, I'm going to run a little ad for you guys about the Machine Lives. Make sure you check him out if you get a chance. I'm not even sure if he might be going live right now. You never know. It seems like every time I decide to go live, someone I love watching live goes live. So that's the way the live streams work. Once you get a good collection of guys that you enjoy watching. No, it looks like we're doing pretty good. Doesn't look like anybody else is broadcasting right now. KJV was live a little while ago. Make sure you guys go over and check him out. London man. That's London_man here on the YouTubes. He's got a cool little channel where he's doing some good researches. Let me pop that out. Let me cue up the old machine lies for you good looking sexy people out in happy land. Sit back and enjoy.
Eyes of the machine on the machine that lies. Basically, on the stream, The Machine Lies, we're taking a very critical look at technology. So the reason we're doing that is because we're looking at the medium that is used to communicate, right, and transmit information, right? We don't think that any form of mediation is neutral, right, but it's laden with values. And so I think that the well has been polluted by technology. So obviously we take a critical look at technology, right? Okay, we're looking at different concepts in relation to technology, right? In terms of philosophy, right? And in terms of religion. Now, that is one of the main purposes of the show, is that we really look at where technology and religion, science, and spirituality, where those things intersect, right? Because there's a crisis of the modern world in which there's a majority of the modern world is religious people. Their mindset is secular, and the means they employ are secular. We're living in a post-liberal, post-human, post-geological age, right? So we're talking about the death of liberalism, the rise of the world technological system. Now, we do think that, okay, there's a considerable level of externalization of the ego, okay, and mediation of ourselves through the means we employ. So obviously, we shape tools, but the tools we use shape us, right? So that's one of the main things we're trying to get across on the show, is how technology changes human psychology. If you question the means you employ and what the objective factors of power are in our age, right, then that's the most important question you can ask. Right, that's the most critical stance you could actually take, right? Like, most people don't question, how or what means they use to question, to ask the question itself, right? So we're actually taking a critical look at technology, right, as a primary form of communication, as an objective factor of power in our age, right? And we think that basically we're assuming that a lot of the stuff that we see through this medium is totally made up, right, fabricated, and that is based on the fact that it is artifice. It's produced by a machine, right? So we talk about the lies of the machine on the machine that lies.
Yeah, it's good magic. I like that right there. You guys can check him out, TML 9534 here on the YouTubes. See if this is working. Everything's running a little slow, even though I rebooted my computer recently. Okay, yeah, that worked. Perfect. Hope you all good looking sexy people are doing all right out in Happy Land. I remind you to check me out on buymeacoffee.com/Frank Monday. That'll get it done, man. So is that banner going to pop up? I thought I clicked it. Ooh, everything is working real slow right now, man. Wonder why there's such a delay. That's all right. Make sure you hit the like buttons for the algobots. Keep them barking like Pavlov's dog. Good magic. Why didn't that work? Oh, it's all really, really slow. And it shouldn't be, because I rebooted just to get all of this operating correctly. And now it's doing what it's doing. That's all right. That's what it is. I'm going to let Israel Regardi walk us through the invocation of Tahuti. It's about 5 minutes long. So, yeah, good magic. Holy art thou, Lord of the universe, the vast and the mighty one, creator of heaven and earth, maker of things visible and invisible, maker of both heaven and earth, master of both the light and the dark, he who was, is, and shall be. We adore thee and we invoke thee. Send us one of your divine spiritual agents, our holy guardian angel, to protect and guide us through the innumerable snares of the earthly sphere, and a cleansing wind to disperse all negativity and endless human opinion. Teach us those secret things which we must know for the completion of the great work and the glory of thine ineffable name, Adonai. So it is commanded and confirmed. So mote it be. Amen. Remember, O neophyte, goodness alone is power, silence is strength, will regaineth omnipotence, and love lieth at the foundation, because love is the law, love under will, and do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law.
Invocation of Thoth. Procul, O procul esti profani, or lasti ompeda. In the name of the mighty and terrible one, I proclaim that I have banished the shells unto their habitations. I invoke Tahuti, the Lord of wisdom and of utterance, the God that cometh forth from the veil. O thou majesty of the Godhead, wisdom-crowned Tahuti, Lord of the gates of the universe, thee I invoke. O thou of the ivy's head, thee I invoke. Thou who wieldest the wand of double power, thee I invoke. Thou who bearest in thy left hand the rose and cross of light and life, thee I invoke. Thou whose head is as an emerald, and thy nemesis as the night sky blue, thee I invoke. Thou whose skin is of flaming orange as though it burned in a furnace, thee I invoke. Behold, I am yesterday, today, and the brother of tomorrow. I am born again and again. Mine is the unseen force whereof the gods are sprung, which is as life unto the dwellers in the watchtowers of the universe. I am the charioteer of the east, lord of the past and of the future. I see by mine own inward light, Lord of resurrection, who cometh forth from the dusk, and my birth is from the house of death. O ye two divine hawks upon your pinnacles, who keep watch over the universe, ye who company the bier to the house of rest, who pilot the ship of wrong, ever advancing onwards the heights of heaven, Lord of the shrine which standeth in the center of the earth. Behold, he is in me, and I in him. Mine is the radiance, wherein Ptah floateth over the firmament. I travel upon high. I tread upon the firmament of new. I raise up flashing flame with the lightning of mine eye, ever rushing on in the splendor of the daily glorified Ra, giving my life to the dwellers of earth. If I say, come up upon the mountain, the celestial waters shall flow at my word. For I am Ra incarnate, Kefra, created in the flesh. I am the eidolon of my father Tamu, Lord of the city of the sun. The God who commands is in my mouth. The God of wisdom is in my heart. My tongue is the sanctuary of truth, and a guard sitteth upon my lips. My word is accomplished every day, and the desire of my heart realizes itself as that of Ptah when he createth his works. I am eternal, therefore all things are as my designs, therefore do all things obey my word. Therefore do thou come forth unto me from thine abode in the silence, unutterable wisdom, or light, or power. So, Hermes, Mercury, Odin, by whatever name I call thee, thou art still nameless to eternity. Come thou forth, I say, and aid and guard me in this work of art. Thou, star of the east, that didst conduct the Magi, thou art the same all present in heaven and in hell. Thou that vibratest between the light and the darkness, rising, descending, changing ever, yet ever the same. The sun is thy father, thy mother the moon. The wind hath borne thee in its bosom, and earth hath ever nourished the changeless Godhead of thy youth. Come thou forth, I say, come thou forth, and make all spirits subject unto me, so that every spirit of the firmament and of the ether, upon the earth and under the earth, on dry land and in the water, of roaring air and of rushing fire, and every spell and scourge of God the Vast One may be obedient unto me.
So it is commanded and confirmed, so mote it be. Amen. Hail unto thee who art Ra in thy rising, even unto thee who art Ra in thy strength, who travellest over the heavens at the uprising of the sun. Tahuti standeth in his splendour at the prow, and Ra-Hor abideth at the helm. Hail unto thee from the abodes of the night. All right, good magic, Wayfarer. I hope you're enjoying this. That was Israel Regardi reading to us the Invocation of Thoth. Good magic, man. I can appreciate that. Next up, I've got a little video here. Whoops, that's wrong. Okay, I got a little video here from one of my favorite new creators here on YouTube. His channel name is Dweller in the Dark. And so, yeah, this is good magic. This is one of my favorite tunes he made a while back. I think about 6 months ago. So definitely get over to Dweller in the Dark. Check him out. He's a rising star. Doing good magic. Here it is here.
Eagles flying high, cats on the prowl, devils in your bed, their whispers so loud, witches on my heels, so they'll steal, running in the dark, truth they conceal, blood on the walls, splattering a sink. God can't help the dead, no time to think. Hounds howl at night, shadows in the light, fear in every breath, eyes wide.
So that'll happen from time to time. Not a lot you can do about that. Just keep rolling with the punches. Cue it back up and do it again. Let's roll that one more time. Once again, like then again. So if you've got a yen to expand your kin, then let's get Zen, baby. Here it is here. Dweller of the Dark, guys. I think I tried to type the name. I'll put the name in there so you guys can find it.
Eagles flying high, cats on the prowl, devils in your bed, their whispers so loud, witches on my heels, so they'll steal, running in the dark, truth they conceal, blood on the walls, splattering a sink. God can't help the dead, no time to think. Hounds howl at night, shadows in the light, fear in every breath, eyes wide with right. Cards dealt by fate, no way to escape. Threads getting tight, can't see the daylight. Blood on the walls, spattering us sink. God can't help the dead, no time to think. Cards dealt by fate, no way to escape. Threads getting tight, can't see the daylight. Blood on the walls, spattering us sink. God can't help the dead, no time to think.
All right, all right, all right. Good magic. I really appreciate that. Let's see, why doesn't that just respond immediately to me? I'm a little bit confused with some of this StreamYard stuff, but that's all right. I just keep rolling with the punches. Y'all good-looking sex people out in Happy Land doing all right tonight. It's good to see you. Welcome back. Whenever, wherever, and whoever may be receiving this message, I hope you're doing well. Wizard, Warrior, Wanderer, Wayfarer, and Wildcat alike. Frank Monday broadcasting to you from the Central Kingdom of the Celestial Dragon, far behind the bamboo firewall, y'all. Getting my good magic on, man. We got lots of stuff to get into tonight, man. Let's look a little more at this Dark Jesus idea. See what that's all about. Oh, that's the wrong one, man. That's the wrong one. Give me a second, guys. I loaded up the wrong video. Just 1 minute.
From my younger age when all was gold, from misty days which now seem unreal, I remember the grey room in the wood, between the pillar and the pyramid it shaped me. Always a memory blazing red hot in the grave, always a recollection burning the mists away. As a dream fading in the afternoon sun, when you and haunted me for all time. I often wonder if you feel the same. Ancient in the wood, lingering not as a memory, but a sensual sensation that warms us both on cold nights alone. Always a memory blazing red hot in the grave. Always a recollection burning the mist away.
Like a dream fading after the sun.
When you and I loved under the rose stone as one. Emerald wood swelling like the sea, tossing of the bright boughs in the sunshine. Sweet smell of the grass and flowers, mountain summer wind upon your cheek. Glorious gloom of the glade, rich, indistinct. Always a memory blazing red hot in the grave. Always a recollection burning the mist away. As a dream fading in the afternoon sun. When you and I loved under the rose stone as one. Never remember you in my youth. Strange.
Greetings, KJV. Good to see you, man. Welcome. Having a little lunch. Good. I had a little snack. I got some other stuff coming in on order too, so I'm just chilling. I thought I'd play a little music, give a little shout out to Dweller of the Dark. He's a good magician over there doing good magic. He does audiobook readings of different kinds of stories, mostly horror stories. Good stuff. I appreciate you being here. Thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate that. If you want to fire up your end of things, I'll come over there. Either way, man. Good looking out.
Welcome to Esoteric Guardian. Most people think they know who Jesus was. A prophet, a teacher, a savior, maybe even the Son of God. But what if I told you that in some of the oldest forbidden texts, this figure isn't a symbol of hope, but something far darker? There exists a Gnostic scripture buried for centuries that describes Jesus not as the redeemer of humanity, but as a cosmic trickster. A deceiver who wore the mask of salvation to carry out a mission we were never meant to understand.
Yeah, what do you guys think of that? Was Jesus the trickster god? It's kind of an interesting take on things, huh? I don't know how sure I am about all that, but yeah, it is what it is. It's this one's from Esoteric Guardian, guys. Kind of an interesting thing. I enjoy a lot of his videos. Again, a lot of these guys, they're using the AI to compile images, and then I think they're entering the content prompts and formulating. Most of it is AI generated, so I think a lot of it comes in the realm of AI slop. I'm not sure what's going on here with all these Greek and Hebrew letters in the background over the heads of various guys, and I don't think any of this imagery really is anything legit or human made. But I don't know. I'm researching it. I listen to some of the dialogue, and sometimes it's interesting. So I just thought I'd present it here for you. You like that concept of the trickster, huh? Yeah, we were talking about that a moment ago with End of Squares, where he mentioned his researches into the Nephilim have led him to believe that they may be tricksters, like the clown imagery associated. I see a lot of people touching on that thread recently. So yeah, that's pretty fascinating. Let's hear a little more of it.
And here's the terrifying part. What if the entire story of redemption was just another layer of the prison? What if the cross itself was part of the trap? Today we're going to dive into one of the most disturbing possibilities hidden in ancient esotericism. A version of Jesus that the church never wanted you to see. And I warn you now, this isn't going to be comforting, but sometimes the truth isn't. Let's begin. Let's begin where all these ideas converge. Because although we've explored Gnosticism before on this channel, many of you who recently joined us may not yet know the full scope of this forgotten religion. And Gnosticism is not something that can be reduced to a simple heresy or a fringe belief system. It is, in fact, one of the most radical reimaginings of the cosmos ever conceived. A system that turns upside down everything we are taught about God, creation, and salvation. In the Gnostic vision, the universe is not the product of a benevolent creator. It is the result of a cosmic tragedy. Everything begins with Sophia, a primordial emanation of the divine realm, the pleroma, a dimension of pure spirit, harmony, and perfection. But Sophia, acting alone and without consent from the ultimate source, attempts to create. And in doing so, she gives birth not to a being of light, but to a deformed, ignorant creator, the Demiurge, a false god who, in his arrogance, mistakes himself for the supreme being and proceeds to create the material world in his own flawed image. This is the origin of our reality, according to the Gnostics. A world built not from love, but from error. A cosmos shaped not by wisdom, but by blindness. And thus, everything we experience, matter, suffering, desire, even death, is tainted by this original defect. The Demiurge, believing himself to be the only god, creates the heavens, the earth, and the laws that govern them. But his creation is not complete. It lacks the fullness of the true divine source. It is a counterfeit kingdom, a hollow replica of the spiritual world. Worse still, the Demiurge surrounds himself with archons, hostile cosmic rulers who serve as jailers of the material world. These entities enforce his order, keep souls in ignorance, and maintain the illusion that this world is all there is. They are the gatekeepers of the false reality we inhabit, manipulating human beings through fear, guilt, and authority. But deep within the human soul, according to Gnostic belief, there remains a spark of the divine, a fragment of the pleroma that longs to return to its true home. And this is where the mission of Jesus begins. In the Gnostic texts, he is not the obedient son of the Demiurge. He is the emissary of the hidden God, the true source beyond the false creator. He descends into the material world, not to confirm the laws of the Demiurge, but to break them. Not to die for our sins, but to awaken us to the knowledge that we were never truly sinners to begin with, only prisoners of a flawed system. And this knowledge is what the Gnostics called gnosis. Unlike faith, which is blind belief in something external, gnosis is an inner awakening, a direct, personal experience of the truth. It is not something you can be told or taught. It is something you must encounter within yourself.
There you go there. Yeah, floored system, huh? So you've got to awaken to that gnosis within, that intrinsic understanding of your divine origin. Brian Roy, good to see you, man. Welcome to the chat. I appreciate you being here. Thanks for the support. Thanks for stopping by. We're watching a little Esoteric Guardian here. I believe this one was called something about the Demogorg, I believe. It's Gnostic. I'm not as much into the Gnostic, but it seems to resonate with some truth. So I like to give it a chance. I'll recidivate a little here.
Cosmic trickster, a deceiver who wore the mask of Jesus not as the redeemer of humanity, but as a cosmic trickster. A deceiver who wore the mask of salvation to carry out a mission we were never meant to understand. And here's the terrifying part. What if the entire story of redemption was just another layer of the prison? What if the cross itself was part of the trap? Today we're going to dive into one of the most disturbing possibilities hidden in ancient esotericism. A version of Jesus that the church never wanted you to see. And I warn you now, this isn't going to be comforting, but sometimes the truth isn't. Let's begin. Let's begin where all these ideas converge. Because although we've explored Gnosticism before on this channel, many of you who recently joined us may not yet know the full scope of this forgotten religion. And Gnosticism is not something that can be reduced to a simple heresy or a fringe belief system. It is, in fact, one of the most radical reimaginings of the cosmos ever conceived. A system that turns upside down everything we are taught about God, creation, and salvation. In the Gnostic vision, the universe is not the product of a benevolent creator. It is the result of a cosmic tragedy. Everything begins with Sophia, a primordial emanation of the divine realm, the Pleroma, a dimension of pure spirit, harmony, and perfection. But Sophia, acting alone and without consent from the ultimate source, attempts to create. And in doing so, she gives birth not to a being of light, but to a deformed, ignorant creator, the Demiurge, a false god who, in his arrogance, mistakes himself for the supreme being and proceeds to create the material world in his own flawed image. This is the origin of our reality, according to the Gnostics. A world built not from love, but from error. A cosmos shaped not by wisdom, but by blindness. And thus, everything we experience, matter, suffering, desire, even death, is tainted by this original defect. The Demiurge, believing himself to be the only god, creates the heavens, the earth, and the laws that govern them. But his creation is not complete. It lacks the fullness of the true divine source. It is a counterfeit kingdom, a hollow replica of the spiritual world. Worse still, the Demiurge surrounds himself with archons, hostile cosmic rulers who serve as jailers of the material world. These entities enforce his order, keep souls in ignorance, and maintain the illusion that this world is all there is. They are the gatekeepers of the false reality we inhabit, manipulating human beings through fear, guilt, and authority. But deep within the human soul, according to Gnostic belief, there remains a spark of the divine, a fragment of the Pleroma that longs to return to its true home. And this is where the mission of Jesus begins. In the Gnostic texts, he is not the obedient son of the Demiurge. He is the emissary of the hidden God, the true source beyond the false creator. He descends into the material world, not to confirm the laws of the Demiurge, but to break them. Not to die for our sins, but to awaken us to the knowledge that we were never truly sinners to begin with, only prisoners of a flawed system. And this knowledge is what the Gnostics called gnosis. Unlike faith, which is blind belief in something external, gnosis is an inner awakening, a direct, personal experience of the truth.
There you go there. And that's what I promote here, man. A direct, personalized, individuated experience of truth. And there's different ways you can get it done. You know, you can get it done through magic. You can get it done through prayer and meditation. You could just get it done by being a good guy, right? Just don't be one of the bad guys. There was an old Zen master who once said, "Do no bad deed." And he said that was enough. You know, just don't do bad things and you'll be fine. And I think, you know, there's a lot of discussion these days on the internet about whether or not morality is subjective or objective. But it's another one of those false dichotomies that they try to lure us into, right? So that we fight over the details rather than embrace the truth. And so be wary of those distractions, guys. Be wary of that. Let's go ahead and open up what I got here in the background. I got a little midnight snack heating up. And I'm going to brew up some more black magic here in a little bit. But yeah. And you know I like my magic like I like my coffee. And like I like my women, right? Strong and black and tasty. All right, let me see how this works. See if I can get this to respond. Y'all good looking sexy people out in Happy Land doing all right. Share screen, see if that's gonna work. Entire screen. There it is there. Is that sharing? I don't know if it is or not. Let me see. I think I gotta remove this one. Remove. Takes me a little time to get it together, guys. I'm not as savvy with this stuff as most of you professionals out there in Happy Land. Some of y'all guys know exactly what the fuck you're doing. Yeah, there it is there. You can see my room. Yeah, so from End of Squares, he had mentioned, I'm not exactly sure how he spelled it. I think I misspelled it when I was looking for it, but it's in Egyptian mythology, and it's the thigh. So it's the iron of Set, and this powerful force was a part of Set himself, but it was removed from him by Horus in their war for the throne of civilization. And it takes the shape of a bull's leg. And so they showed it in some of the imagery here. Let me see if it's got it in this imagery. And it might be indicative of the Big Dipper or Draco Major, right? So we got the Big Dipper, Ursa Minor, the Big Bear. Anyway, not all of this is totally dialed in, but there was some imagery of it, and I saw it, and then I lost it. But I'll be able to pull it up again later and find it. Anyway, so that's something there, you know, going into the research book, and got to have dig a little deeper into the Big Dipper. Then we were looking at with KJV over at London Man here on YouTube. So guys, check him out. He's doing good magic. We were getting into the various pupils on the eye, you know, because he seemed to have found something in the eye. Good stuff. I'll have to research it more to understand it more. Maybe I could pull over some of his videos and watch them here in real time on my channel. Circle pupils are effective for depth perception and good for day hunting during the day. Vertical slits, as in ambush predators, cats and snakes. Better control of light intake, enhancing vision in low light conditions. Good stuff. And then those horizontal slits, like the eye of the goat, right? The black goat of the woods with 1,000 young. Shub-Niggurath, right? Typically seen in prey animals like sheep and goats. Yeah, the black goat. That's a thing, isn't it? Right? Pan, the great god Pan. This pupil involves a panoramic view, allowing these animals to detect predators from various angles while maintaining a wide field of vision. So I thought that was interesting. And then if you look into the images, man, there's quite a few like dynamite images. Like, look at that lizard's eye, man. The thing looks like it's got 4 pupils in it. All right, of course, then we got the goat's eye and cat's eyes. And these are the primary, they say these are the primary 4. Yeah, so like just like 4 elements, right? You've got fire, water, air, and earth. So maybe C is the water. A would be fire, probably. B, maybe air. And then D, definitely an earth-centered eye, right? So we see that same elemental, Kabbalistic elements playing out in even the eyes of creatures. And there's really a bunch of different shapes of eyes, man, here on the eye chart. Really neat stuff, man. I'll have to look more into that too, and how like that influences the way vision works. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to dig into that, man. We got some other stuff to get into though here. I wanted to mention to you guys, since we were talking about the Big Dipper, that the Big Dipper is used a lot in Chinese Taoism. Here it says not only is it a celestial object, but also a symbol of the divine and a significant figure in the worship of the stars. The Big Dipper, they say, is often associated with the worship of the stars and is used in various rituals and ceremonies. Here's some of the key points. The divine figure, ritual, symbolism, exorcistic powers, and worship, right? So we'll look a little more into that. It's often associated with the divine, considered a significant figure in worship of the souls. Taoist rituals involve walking the Big Dipper, right? So you put the Big Dipper down on the ground and do like a like a sketching board like the Masons do, and then you walk it and build a memory palace so you can memorize each of the stars in the Big Dipper and its formation. Its symbolism is the proper orientation for performing meditation and rituals in your magical circle. So whatever direction it's pointing at that season, right? Like in the spring, it points to the east. In the summer, it points south. In the autumn, it points west. And in the winter, it points north. So when you do your big ritual ceremonies during those times, you should be standing behind your altar facing the direction the same as the Big Dipper, because that's where the spirit of life is said to come from. And whichever direction it's pointing, that's where the spirit will be entering into your circle. So be aware of that. The Big Dipper is worshipped on the 14th and 15th day of the 8th month, which actually coincides with, I believe, Walpurgis night. And we were just discussing this as well. I think that is early October. And so I'll have to look into that again because I might be a little bit wrong. There's lots of star charts associated with the Big Dipper, especially in Chinese Tao and internal alchemy. So yeah, you can see here that's its basic representation, and then you visualize it when you're doing meditation, and you imagine the cosmic particle coming down from the Big Dipper and entering into the top of your head. The Chinese Big Dipper is called Beidou Qixing, right? They would often put it on the blade of magical swords. Yeah, here's one right here. There's a representation of it. They would put it on the blade of magical swords in order to be able to exorcise demons. And this particular one's really nice. It's Zhong Kui. Zhong Kui is a famous demon hunter from the Ming Dynasty. And he carried a Qixing Jian, or a 7-star sword. So good magic there. We got a little more here from Tao World, or Dao Jiao Shijie, right? Dao Jiao Shijie. That's Taoist world. They have a traditional cultural center, and they're going to get in a little talk of the 7 stars of the Big Dipper. Let me jump back over here, though, and see how the chat's doing, guys. See if everybody out there in Happy Land is enjoying the transmission today. Capricornia is in the house. Good to see you, Capricorn. I hope you are doing well. Capricorni. Yeah, Capricorni. Just finished lunch. Okay, nice. Yeah, everyone's having a little din-din. A little something to eat. I got my I forgot about my little piece of pizza over here. I gotta make sure I don't overheat it. Yeah, I got myself a nice little midnight snack. It's 9:39 in Twilight Zone Old Peking right now, guys. Good to see you, Capricorni. Thank you for stopping by. I can appreciate that. Yeah, I got that right there. Imagine the cosmic particle descending down from Polaris, Beidou, the octahedron, the great engine of creation. I had we had a really nice little conversation, me and KGV and End of Squares. Really good magic, man. I can appreciate that. We were getting into it. Really getting into some good magic. And so they turned me on to a couple of things that I wanted to look into a little more deeper with, these are the 7 stars of the Big Dipper here as represented by Taoist immortals. Bei Mu Tianzuan. Tianzuan means heavenly spirit, like a heavenly Shen. It's a type of entity that can, in ancient times in China, would come down from heaven. And this one was the mother, or the black hole at the Big Dipper. Dou Mu Tianzuan is a female divinity and the mother of the deities who are in charge of the Big Dipper constellation. The word Dou means Big Dipper, and it's actually a picture. You can see it if you look closely at it. It actually is a pictorial representation of the Big Dipper, and in more ancient Chinese pictographs, it would just be laid out just like the 7 stars. But modernized pictographs, you can still see that lasting tradition of pictures in their words. She is also the mother of Ziwei, or Zhiwei Emperor, the great purple emperor of the astral light, and then the great Tianhuang Emperor of Tifereth, right? Like, so our sun god and how he manifests. And so you can see him here. This is Tianhuang, right? The great yellow emperor, the great yellow emperor of heaven. And then Ziwei Emperor right here. Ziwei. We'll get a little better look. There she is, right? What do they call her? Dou Mu Tianzuan. Dou Mu Tianzuan. Yeah, good magic going on in that picture, guys. She's on her chariot. It'll tell you a little more about it. She's often shown with 3 different faces, right? Like many of the demons in the Ars Goetia. Besides her human appearance, she has a face shaped like a pig and another one shaped like a demon. This symbolizes the ability to watch over the 3 realms. You know who would appreciate that? I think that Queen Stephanie, the leader of Team Evil, he would appreciate us studying that there is a entity way up there that's keeping an eye on him, right? This symbolizes the ability for her to watch over the 3 realms: the realm of mankind, the realm of animals, and the realm of demons, like Queen Stephanie. She's sitting in a lotus flower carriage pulled by 9 hogs. Maybe one of those hogs is salty breakfast sausage, right? He looks like he could be one of the hogs chained to the chariot. She has 8 arms carrying the sun, a moon, a bell, a seal, bow and arrow, and a halberd. The remaining 2 hands form the Domu hand seal. Really? I wish that picture was a little more clear, but it's not. So I would imagine, where are the hands doing the seal? Maybe this one? I only see 6. I see 6 hands. Is she hiding 2 behind her back? Maybe. That's not a very high res image, so I'm not even going to try to look at it, man. Just a waste of my time. But I thought that her name was interesting, and I thought it was worthwhile to look a little more into her Chinese name. Let me make sure everyone's doing all right out in Happy Land. Since I spoke of the devil, I was surprised he didn't appear. Yeah, speak of the devil and he doth appear. You got to watch out when you're talking about the leader of Team Evil. He'll come over here and drop a turd right in the middle of the living room. Says that her complete name is Jiuling Tai Miao Bai Yu Gui Tai Ye Guang Jing Jing Du Jing 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 Jing. Where did we leave off? Jing Jing Zhu Mu Yuan Jun. Wow, that's quite a name. So Juling is 9 spirits. Tai Miao is the great, like, internal palace. Bai Yu is white jade. Bai Yu Gui Tai is the white jade ghost platform. Ye Guang, light within darkness. Jing Jing, or golden elixir. Zhumu Yuanjun, or beloved mother of original energy. So that's quite a title right there. And you can see there's actually, by incanting her name, it gives you a internal invocation. So if you want to summon her and use her power, you would chant this like a mutra. Is it a mutra or a mantra? A mantra, right? So it would be done in the spirit of like Namu Guan Shi Yin Pusad. Right, you know that one. You know the Pusad one. But this one would be done like this. Ju Ling Ti. I'd have to learn it. I don't know this one. I could do the ones I use regularly quite easily. They're very fluid. I've done them tens of thousands of times, but they really work. You draw the characters out in the astral light with your eyes closed in your mind as you invoke each character, right? Jiu Ling Tai Miao Bai Yu Gui Tai Ye Guang Jing Jing Zhu Mu Yuan Jun. And as you do that, they form in the mind in the astral temple, and they're really, really powerful, guys. So that's a good one. The 9 spirit formula. Wow, I'll have to try that one and see what happens. Then there's Zhongtian, Central Heaven. Fan Qi, Magical Breath. Domu, right? Again, that's that Domu Yuanjun. So that's just the Big Dipper mother of the Big Dipper. Let's see what this one is. Zhongtian, Fan Qi, Domu Yuanjun, Ziguang. Okay, so here we have purple light. So this is astral light. Whenever you see the Ziguang mentioned, Mingzhi. So the astral light leads to interior brightness. Where does it go off here? Tai Su Yuan Ho Jin 真王的天尊. All right, 的天 sheng, it says that's sheng. Oh yeah, shenging, sound, 真sheng. So the reverberating sound of virtuous heaven formation. I'll go through it from start to finish. The central heaven magical breath method of the black hole in the Big Dipper, the astral light produces great wisdom clarity of benevolent resounding nature with the golden true sound of virtuous heaven response. So this one looks to me like when you meditate on it, it's going to create thunder. This will create thunder in your meditations. So you might be sitting down to do meditations, and if you're practicing this mutra, then suddenly a thunderstorm will appear. This one, I don't think produces lightning, but it may produce spiritual apparitions. Yeah, I would have to research these guys before I would use them. So yeah, don't take my word for it. Da Yuan Man Yue Guang Wang. Okay, so we've got moonlight, right? This one is the giant round fullness of the moon. So this one is the king of the full moon, but it's also an encoded message, right? When you complete the circle with fulfillment, the moon delivers the light that transforms you into a king. That's a big one, right? That's a big power one right there, man. So when you sit in meditation and you imagine the full moon and use this mutra, you may in fact become a god, man. You got to be careful. You got to watch the fuck out. That's good magic right there, baby. All right, y'all good looking sex people, keep doing good magic out in Happy Land. And I'm going to finish this one off here. It just says that as the governor of the pavilion of heavenly treasure, the mother of the stars has the brilliant eyes of all the heavens. She is in charge of life. And she's not the Pusad, right? She's not the Guanyin. She's the Domu, right? Domu Yuanjun. According to the fundamental destiny life proclaiming heart scripture of the great sagely primordial sovereign of the supreme mysterious and numinous Big Dipper, Taishang. Oh yeah, Taishangs are big shots, man. These guys are powerful. And Shunlings, really big energy here, guys. Taishang Shunling Domu. Taishan Shunling Domu. Dashang Yuanjun. Bunying or Bunming. Bunming. Yangsheng Xinjing. That's where, okay, when they use this character right here on the end, that bracket type thing, pointed bracket, that means that it's a book. So that book, the Big Dipper, with her great merit of medicine and healing, manages and harmonizes the five agents, balances the vital breaths of the chi of yin and yang, and dissolves stagnant and eliminates evil and dark. Under her mercy, those who miss the time of salvation catch up with the time of salvation, can catch up with the time of salvation. In charge of the safety of pregnancy and birth. Yeah, I remember when my wife got pregnant, we went down and we burned a lot of spirit money in her temple. Or my wife did, I didn't. Men aren't supposed to go into her temple, in fact. And I don't even know if we're supposed to practice any of her things, but you guys can learn more about it here on your own at daoworld.org. I'm not going to get too far into that because a lot of it's higher level practices, and it wouldn't really benefit a neophyte to learn and read about it unless you're deeply interested in Chinese Tao. And if not, then you, it won't have as much merit to you. Guys, I'm going to play one more video from Dweller of the Dark, and I'm going to make myself a coffee and scarf down on my little piece of pizza that I heated up. So give me just a minute, guys, and enjoy the music. This is Dweller of the Dark here on YouTube, man. You can find his channel here on YouTube. Did I remove everything? Yeah, that lets me add it. Good.
Shows my lover long gone through death's door. Swamp whispers of things before, Darkness takes what light restores. Human cats stalk and play in the swampland. Shadows dance, love turns to sand. My lover I know fell at their pawed hands. Lost to the night, no more promised land. Oh, witch fire burn, take this pain away. Lost in the swamp where shadows sway. My love's gone where night holds sway. Dreams and nightmares blend to gray. Lost to the night, no more promised land. Oh, witch fire burn, take this pain away. Lost in the swamp where shadows sway. My love's gone where night holds sway. Dreams and nightmares blend to gray.
All right, all right, all right. I just realized I left my microphone turned on. I hope you guys didn't hear me crunching down on my pizza in the background. That's yummy stuff, man. We got a visitor out there in Happy Land. It looks like Greasy Meat Sausages is here. How you doing, Greasy Meat Sausage, with your neck beard, and your diaper? You in here to bang your rattle and be heard? Right? You're like a baby in a crib, crying. Why would your mother even let the pacifier slip out of your fucking dank gab? Your gob leaking ichor and vile putrescence in my presence. Why would you even come into my realm, you little rat? You dirty rat. Hit the road, man. Take off. Nobody likes you, bro. I don't like you, and nobody else likes you either. Go do your thing in your own hood, man. You invited me into your hood. I ain't never fucking invited you into my hood. You can just back on up out the fucking door. Back on up. I said back on up. I said get on up. Get on up. Get on up out the way, biatch. Get on up. Get on up. Get on up out the way, biatch. Move your big old fat ass out my way, bitch. Cause I'm coming through. And I'm moving, and I'm grooving to Frank Monday's hit single, Get Out the Way.
Eagles flying high, cats on the prowl, devils in your bed, their whispers so loud. Witches on my heels, so they'll steal. Running in the dark, truth they conceal. Blood on the walls, splattering a sink. God can't help the dead, no time to think. Hounds howl at night, shadows in the light, fear in every breath, eyes wide with fright. Caused up by fate, no way to escape. Breath getting tight, can't see the daylight. Blood on the walls, spattering us sick. God can't help the dead, no time to think. Cards dealt by fate, no way to escape. Threads getting tight, can't see the daylight. Blood on the walls, spattering us sick. God can't help the dead, no time to think.
I really like that a lot. I'm gonna roll it back though, guys. We got some good magic to get into, man. We got to keep shaking our love maker, swinging our thing, helicoptering into the room like a big old badass sexual outlaw. Frank Monday once again, like Finnegan. If you've got a yen to expand your kin, then come on over here and let's get zen, baby. Grand Wizard of the Esoteric Order of Dagon, broadcasting to you from the Central Kingdom of the Celestial Dragon, Twilight Zone, Old Peking, far behind the bamboo firewall. Hit the likes for the Algobots, guys. Keep them barking like Pavlov's dog. Make sure to check me out on buymeacoffee.com/Frank Monday. Put a little something in the tip jar. Yeah, I'll put the lead in my pencil. Y'all good-looking, sexy people. I know what you guys are getting into out there. You ain't got me fooled. Let's throw in a little of that background daydreaming. It's good stuff, man. They say it feels the dead space. I don't know. I can't even hear it. Pop my comment box back open. I don't even think it's playing. I don't know. Moon rocks. All right. Breakfast. Yeah. Yeah. He's greasy. He's buttered sausage biscuit. Buttered sausage biscuit. That's what I'm going to call him. Let's talk about buttered sausage. What is it? Where'd it come from? Who brought it here? I don't like it. Get it out of my face. I don't eat jam. I eat honey. And I kiss it on the lips. So we were just talking about that great, powerful Taoist god of the moon energy, right? And then look at this synchronicity right here. Now imagine, Wayfarer, take a deep breath. Hold for 3, 2, 1 and command yourself to relax. Imagine the sky is clear and full of stars. The moon, a great yellow harvest moon, rises slowly up the sky to a full arch. And we saw the moonbeams shining on the high purple walls of a city. We did not delay to look about, but marched quickly to the center of the city, to an open space in the midst of which was a round temple like a ball of silver. It was approached by 9 steps and rested on a silver platform. It had 4 doors. Before each was a large angel with silver wings. Inside, we were in a very airy place. Light breezes lifted our clothes and our hair. And interior was very white and clear silvery. No colors. Splendid, in the center was a great globe like the moon herself. While we looked, we saw that the globe was not suspended in the air. It rested on an immense cupped hands. We followed the arms up and saw far up near the roof deep dark eyes looking down, dark like the night sky. And a voice said, "Welcome back, Wayfarer. I hope you are doing well. Have you traveled far?" And our answer, only from east to west. little point would be gained in continuing with the rest of the quotation. This passage is given here solely that the reader may refer to the description of the astral plane in the textbooks, and then to the recurrence in this vision of the major symbols in the dynamic form of dramatization. Let the student take good notice of the presence of the correct numbers, colors, planetary attributions, and above all, the hint as to how much valuable knowledge may be acquired. Note the 4 doors to the temple representing the 4 major Kabbalistic elements of fire, water, air, and earth. For this astral world is also referred to the ether, of which is the element air is a surrogate. The 5th element quintessentializing the lower elements. The temple to which the other elements are but doors. Suspended in the temple was a globe, symbolic possibly of the element air itself, which in the Hindu Tattva system is represented by a blue sphere. Before each of the doors stands an angel. These are the 4 cherubic angels, the vice regents of the 4 cardinal quarters, and elements ruling over a particular elemental world under the dominance of one of the letters of the Tetragrammaton, Yod-Heh-Vah-Heh, the most powerful name of God. Possibly they are a representation of the interior psychic delimitation of the soul's spatial area, so to speak, or the inner boundaries of the astral temple, the absence of which would indicate an unhealthy diffusion or decentralization of consciousness. Also, the 4 cardinal points of space would be represented by these 4 angelic figures. Concretizations, too, of the double play of the moral opposites. East is the opposite of west, north the opposite to south, while the angel of the east is opposite to its feminine counterpart in the west, and the angel of the south is opposite to its feminine counterpart in the north. Whilst each of these quarters have attributed to it some particular moral quality or psychic function, the sense of being in an airy place with light breezes bears out the formal attribution of air, a curious confirmation of the duality of meaning implied in pneuma, wind and spirit, a duality which occurs not only in the Greek but in Hebrew, Arabic, and a host of primitive languages. Also in Chinese. Chinese wind and spirit, qi and qigong, are the same character. Absolutely. Qi means breath. Well, wind itself would be feng, but qi indicates wind and spirit, right? It does. It's very indicative of it. Individual after individual has been trained independently to visit this and other sephiros. While each vision is somewhat different in its detail and form to that here quoted, nevertheless, there is a startling unanimity so far as concerns the essential symbolic features. This constitutes definite scientific proof of the supreme reality of the world of magic and demonstrates the possibility of personal experiment and research. Scientific research is possible in the world of the astral or unconscious realities because they are effective things, that is, objective influences that work and influence mankind. This sphere is the deposit of the world experience of all times, and it is therefore an image of the world that has been forming for aeons, an image in which certain features, the so-called dominants, have been elaborated through the course of time. These dominants are the ruling powers, the gods and archangels and angels, the angeli and archangeli, that is, representations of dominating laws and principles functioning in the cosmos. And since it is a world functioning in the brain structure and sympathetic nervous system of every individual, it is a world which is open to everyone who wishes to overcome the fear which centuries of mal-education have projected upon it and discover for himself anew the reality of its dynamic urges and influences. Yeah, really powerful stuff, man. The Art and Meaning of Magic by Israel Ragardi. Yeah, baby, I'm here for it. Wow, how did you get back in here, man? Who left? Who the fuck left the baby door open and let the toddler out of his playpen? Once again, like Finnegan, old buttered sausage shows up. Buttered sausage, where did it come from? I don't like it. Get it out of my face. Frank has really bad anger issues. Seems blah, blah, blah. Endless human opinion. Holy art thou, Lord of the universe, the vast and the mighty one. Send a cleansing wind to disperse this odious, noxious negativity and this endlessly illegitimate, irrelevant, and just stupid human opinion that I see manifesting before me. You told me very politely, no, you insistently and persistently interrogated and interrogated me. You didn't show me fucking politeness, man. We talked for about an hour pretty good. You guys truncated most of my ideas, cut me off routinely, and just basically acted like a spoiled brat with a fucking rattle, just banging your rattle. My dirty diaper! Somebody come change it. Go fuck yourself, man. Go fuck yourself. How about that? I got no time for any of that fucking horse shit. We don't need to cross paths. You can stay within the confines of your domain. I will stay within the confines of my domain. There's absolutely no reason why we need cross-pollinate. So I've said my piece, and you're the only one persisting in it. So there it is there. Sad. In my opinion, all I can say is sad. I have no time to deal with it, though. We got other things to get on to. Bigger and better fish to fry, my friends. Let's get a little more back into this video on the Dark Jesus from the Gnostic perspective and see what that leads us to. And then we'll see what the future holds.
Taught, it is something you must encounter within yourself. A revelation that collapses the illusion and exposes the machinery of the false world. We find this radical message in the forbidden texts of the Nag Hammadi library. In the second treatise of the Great Seth, Jesus laughs at his crucifixion, describing the cross as a deception. In the Gospel of Judas, he reveals to Judas that his betrayal was part of the cosmic plan to break the system from within. And in the Apocryphon of John, he explains the fall of Sophia, the creation of the demiurge, and the origin of the archons in disturbing detail. These are not stories of salvation through obedience, but through rebellion, through awakening. And they leave us with a haunting question. If the God of the Old Testament is the jailer, and Jesus is the one who breaks the prison, then who have we been worshipping all along? That's the terrifying thought we must now confront. Let's now enter the heart of this disturbing revelation.
Yeah, so it says let's enter the heart of it. What does that say there? Give me a second, guys. Let me review and check this out. What's going on, man? I got a little lost. I had to type out a message to old buttered sausage over there. We must now confront the second treatise of the Great Seth. All right. Yeah, good magic. So I hope you all good-looking, sexy people are doing all right out in Happy Land. Since we're well into the second hour now, guys. We're almost halfway through the second hour. So I want to go ahead and drop the link if you're interested in coming up to chat. Grand Wizard of the Esoteric Order of Dagon, presiding wizard, self-appointed. Frater Francis Lunas Aristeus of the OTA, reminding you that we just finished up a 100-day challenge on Way of the Psionic Agent. So good magic. Check the playlist for that one. Hit the likes for the Algabots, guys. Keep them barking like Pavlov's dog. And check me out on buymeacoffee.com/Frank Monday. Drive to reach 1,000. We're almost there. Let's see here. Yeah, we will get back into this video a little.
So corrosive to the foundations of Christianity that it reimagines the entire Passion story not as a tragedy, but as a cosmic trick. I'm talking about the second treatise of the Great Seth, one of the most unsettling relics of the Gnostic tradition. This forbidden scripture was uncovered in 1945 within the Nag Hammadi library, a hidden collection of outlawed texts buried in the Egyptian desert and untouched for centuries. The manuscript itself is a 4th century copy, but scholars trace its origin back to the late 2nd century, meaning it was written only a few generations after the life of Jesus, at a time when competing visions of his true nature still fought for dominance. And what we find in its pages is something that flips the gospel narrative upside down. Here, Jesus speaks in the first person, but gone is the image of the suffering Savior. Instead, we meet a laughing, almost mocking figure, a being who watches from above as the rulers of the material world, the Archons, fall into the trap he set for them. Because according to this text, the crucifixion was never real. This is where an ancient doctrine called Docetism comes into play. In this view, Christ did not have a physical body like ours. Matter, in the Gnostic worldview, is corrupt, impure, and incompatible with the divine.
Well, and I think in part the tale of the mystery is that he had a physical body, but then he cast it off and returned in a body of light, right? And pure energized spirit, which you can perceive in the astral light. If you've developed any capacity to astral travel, you will encounter these luminous beings. And okay, whatever, buttered sausage, I don't care, bro. I'm done with it, man. It's water under the fucking bridge. You're the only one that is still poking at it, and I don't know why. Because, like I said, you invited me into your fucking domain. I have not invited you here. In fact, I'm telling you right now, I'd prefer if you don't show up and don't show any interest in me. Just forget that we ever cross paths. We can each go our own way. That's just fucking fine and dandy. Obviously, I'm not going to ban you, but I am going to keep putting you in timeout because I'm just not here for it, man. I don't want to debate these ideas. It's not up for debate. These things are legit. I mean, right here, the paragraph, if you were paying attention, the paragraph I just read for you says it all, right? That these things are verifiable through the scientific method. All you need to do is look into it. I know you're not going to because that's not what you're interested in. And I'm not interested in your horse shit, bro. Human opinion doesn't interest me, especially the human opinion of like a 30-something neckbeard fucking baby in a diaper that doesn't even know anything about spirituality at all, man. You've already put yourself in a very narrow, tight little box. You're an atheist and you're a naturalist, and that's fine and dandy, man. Go out there and wear your titles like a McDonald's name tag, bro. Do whatever you want with that. It doesn't fucking interest me. Yeah, let me try to add this back to the stage. It's not letting me do it because I got to remove that motherfucker first. And then I'll add this motherfucker to the stage. You're just over here trying to gather content. I know what's up, man. Individual after individual has trained independently to visit this and other Sephiroths. While each detail is a little different, the essential symbolic features are the same. This constitutes definite scientific proof of the supreme reality of the world of magic and demonstrates the possibility of personal experiment and research. Scientific research is possible in the world of the astral. Period, man. I don't need your opinion. Why would I trade? Listen to me, brother. Motherfucker, listen to me, buttered sausage. I'm going to say this to you one time, so listen up. Why would I trade my study and understanding of over 40 years into the researches of the mysteries and gentlemen like Israel Regardie, who actually lived a life of value and made a contribution to the world? Why would I exchange what they understood and wrote about for your buttered sausage opinion? I mean, come on, guys. Buttered sausage. Where'd you get this guy? Oh, man, get the fuck out of here, bro. Hit the road. It's so fucking just tiresome. I already raised 2 children, and one of them's going to college this year, and one of them's graduating high school next year. I raised 2 children. That means I've already changed enough diapers, bro. I'm not here to change your fucking diaper, man. I'm not here to guide you to the fucking astral light. Get on and get with your bad, ugly self, man. Jesus Christ in heaven. Sweet, sweet, beloved Jesus, man. What a fucking What a bag of moldy
Suffer,
dick
but not
tips.
bleed,
An
because suffering
absolute fucking
belongs to the
bag of
flawed
moldy
domain of the
dick
demiurge.
tips.
What the crowd saw on the cross was only a shadow, an illusion, a carefully staged deception. And here lies the key to understanding the deeper symbolism of this act. Like a master of cosmic theater, Christ staged his own defeat to unmask the blindness of his captors. The Archons, thinking they had triumphed, revealed instead their ignorance. They struck at an empty shell, while the true Christ stood beyond their reach, untouched, observing their arrogance with laughter.
There's another interesting aspect of this story that's been brought forward by a great Taoist master, Nihua Ching. He wrote a book called The Way, the Truth, and the Life of Jesus. And in it, he postulates the idea that perhaps the Magi, at least one of them, was from the Far East. So in his dissertation, it's maybe a 200-page book, he presents the ideas that the three Magi, that one of them was from Syria. So one was, and just in older language, one was from the Near East, one from the Middle East, and one from the Far East. And the one from the Far East was actually a representative of Lao Tzu's tribe of descendants, and brought with him the Tao Te Ching in a somewhat modernized form, and then taught that to Jesus. Jesus learned Qigong, and in fact his crucifixion was done through magic, and that he used Qigong magic to trick people into thinking that he was actually crucified when he wasn't. But those are all speculative theories. I mean, I don't think any of them have historical backing. From the Taoist perspective, there is historical backing in these types of procedures that are represented in his book, but you'd have to read it for yourself and come to your own opinion. I just presented it because it's a well-written book and it presents an interesting hypothesis in a totally unique direction. So that's good magic, in my opinion.
But this isn't mockery for its own sake. In the Gnostic mind, deception itself becomes a tool of liberation. Because when the entire universe is a prison of illusions, sometimes the only way out is through a greater illusion.
Yeah, it's interesting too. Earlier today, me and KJV, we were talking about this, and he's like, why is everybody in this big drive to get out? You know, maybe getting out isn't essentially the answer. If a fish lives in water and then it jumps out of the water, chances are it's going to die. And so if mankind and his spirit dwell in the prime material plane, and then he suddenly jumps out of that without undergoing a metamorphosis, then certainly he will perish. And there have been many wayfarers into the astral light that have brought back too much information, and as a result, their lives were cut short. Like they only made it to their mid to late 40s or 50s, which I found to be a very interesting phenomena in reading some of the great prophetic writers of the last couple of centuries, right? Like the 20th and 19th century, and those mystics. And even as far back as some of the 18th century guys, they got cut short. So I'd be a little bit careful, and don't formulate any beliefs just based on the pontifications of others. You have to do the work yourself. That's why it's called the great work, right? Because you got to get in there and get dirty and dig around in the dirt a little bit to get it done.
Truth in this worldview does not shine openly. It hides beneath layers of appearance, waiting for the seeker who can look beyond the surface. And in such a reality, only deception can break deception. The crucifixion, then, was not a defeat. It was a victory hidden in plain sight. A play so convincing that even the cosmic rulers believed they had won, while in reality, the stage was collapsing beneath them. But if the most sacred event in Christian tradition was, in the Gnostic view, a cosmic joke, what does that say about the rest of our reality? What other illusions have we mistaken for truth? Now that we've exposed this radical vision of the crucifixion, we face an even deeper question. If Jesus was not the innocent victim of cosmic injustice, but rather the one orchestrating the entire event, what archetype does he embody? The answer may be unsettling, but it fits with disturbing precision. The trickster. The trickster is one of the oldest symbols in human mythology. He is the one who breaks the rules of the cosmos, the figure who disturbs both divine and human orders, who forces reality to reveal its contradictions. He is neither good nor evil in the way we understand those terms. Hermes, the cunning messenger who steals from the gods but opens pathways between worlds. Loki, the chaotic shapeshifter whose deceptions both destroy and renew. Prometheus, who rebels against the gods not to bring chaos, but to gift humanity with forbidden knowledge. Now let's be clear. The Gnostic texts never call Jesus a trickster outright. They don't label him with that archetype. But when you look at his actions, mocking the rulers of this world, breaking their laws, exposing their blindness and arrogance, his role fits disturbingly well.
Yeah, and that's pretty easy to see right there. I mean, that's kind of a part of the path of the magician, is you have to mock these guys because they don't have any perception into the astral light, and they don't know about the world of magic, right? And these things have an objective influence on mankind and work within this sphere. This sphere is the deposit of the world of experience of all times, and it's therefore an image of the world that has been forming for aeons, an image in which certain features, the so-called dominants, have been elaborated through the course of time. These dominants are the ruling powers, as we said before, right? The gods, the Archangeli and Angeli and Archangeli. And you got to understand them, man. You got to get with it. You got to get busy doing the great work, man. Otherwise, you're just going to get left behind. And I mean, that's fine. You can continue to wander in darkness, but you're not. I'm not going to be there with you anymore, right? I've moved on. I've leveled up. I'm moving on to bigger and better things, and we're about to level up out of the realm of sub 1,000 subs, right? So once we get above the 1,000 mark, we're just not going to entertain any of the horse shit anymore. There's no reason to do so. All right. Trolls can go troll elsewhere. Haters gonna hate, but they ain't gonna hate on me. Not on my time.
He enters the material world wearing a mask, plays the part expected of him, and then pulls the rug from under his enemies' feet. He allows them to believe they have won, only to show them in the end that they never understood the true game. But here's what makes the Gnostic vision so radically different from modern moral tales. In this cosmology, deception is not evil. Deception is a weapon of liberation. In a world built on lies, where reality itself is an illusion crafted by a blind creator, sometimes the only way to free the prisoners is to shatter the false reality from within.
Again, a lot of this doesn't track with my own spiritual researches. I think that it's a much easier game to figure out than that. And it's not so dire and negative, right? Like some people want to call it a hell realm or limbo or something like that. Good God, you guys haven't ever been down into the really dank, gnarly caverns of the underworld, have you? And you just haven't had any experiences that have shown you the difference between the two. And once you start to, or you're able to actually make clear distinctions, then you'll be able to see what is, what resonates as true, at least for you.
Even if that means deceiving both the captors and the captives. The trickster does not deceive for pleasure. He deceives to awaken, to break the spell of comfort, ignorance, and passive faith, to force souls to question everything they see, even their own beliefs, even their own identity. Because in the Gnostic worldview, the greatest illusion is not the demiurge, nor the archons, nor the false heavens. The greatest illusion is the ego, the fragile, constructed sense of self that believes it is separate from the divine source. The human being who identifies with the material world, who thinks that this body, this life, this history is all there is. And perhaps in the end, this was the real target of Christ's trick. Not just the rulers of the cosmos, but our own illusions about who we are. If that is true, then maybe the crucifixion wasn't just a deception played on the Archons. Maybe it was a mirror held up to all of us. If that is true, then maybe the crucifixion wasn't just a deception played on the Archons. Maybe it was a mirror held up to all of us.
Okay, so this part of the video looks like it says it's going to move into the Demiurge and the Archons. Now, I've heard a lot of obfuscation in these fields, right? Like, according to the Gnostic texts, I forget whatever they're called because I haven't studied them and I'm not that interested in studying them because they don't necessarily apply to my path. But they're saying that Jehovah is the Demiurge and that they place a lot of negativity on the creation process. The Archons are supposedly the watchers, right? That they placed over the kingdom in order to keep things in order. Maybe there's some underlying truth in some of this stuff, but it just doesn't seem to resonate as source material. It seems to be more of a bastardization of source material, which I'm not as interested in. Again, it's mostly just human opinion. And how much of that do you really need in your life, right? When you've got great source books that clearly delineate things that are of true value.
But if Christ staged this cosmic deception, who was truly deceived? Not humanity, at least not in the ultimate sense. According to the Gnostic texts, the real targets of his trick were far older and far more powerful. The Demiurge and his Archons, the false gods who rule the material cosmos. In the Gnostic worldview, the Demiurge is not evil in the human sense of the word. He is not a sadistic tyrant reveling in cruelty. He is something far more unsettling, a blind creator, a craftsman who, separated from the fullness of the true divine source, the pleroma, attempts to create a universe without understanding the perfection he has fallen from. His creation, the Demiurge and his Archons, the false gods who rule the material cosmos. In the Gnostic worldview, the Demiurge is not evil in the human sense of the word. He is not a sadistic tyrant reveling in cruelty. He is something far more unsettling, a blind creator.
Yeah, I wanted to try to pause it there because and review that for a second. It sounds like this is where Lovecraft got his idea of Azathoth, right? The blind idiot god at the center of the cosmos, and who's kept asleep by the Archons with their piping flutes. And if he wakes up and we're all just a part of his brain matter, right? We're all living in the god of Azathoth, living in the headspace, that when he wakes up, our cosmos will be destroyed. Let's see if the Gnostic text goes in that direction. That would be funny. And then we would know some of the source material for Lovecraft here.
A craftsman who, separated from the fullness of the true divine source, the pleroma, attempts to create a universe without understanding the perfection he has fallen from. His creation, then, is not malicious, but flawed, incomplete. It reflects his ignorance rather than his malice. And this ignorance is the true source of our suffering. The Demiurge believes himself to be the highest god because he cannot see beyond the veil of his own creation. He mistakes his limited kingdom for the entire cosmos. And around him gather the Archons, powerful yet blind entities who enforce his flawed order. They rule over the stars, over matter, over the very laws of reality, creating a dense, mechanical universe designed not to nurture the soul, but to bind it.
Again, and I would counter most of this with the Taoist cosmology, that this same, so this would be, and I guess you could say both dimensions exist interdependently, is that the word? Yeah, interdependently, and at the same time. So they're simultaneous, right? There's simultaneity in some of these things. But this same image here on the screen, if you overlaid that with the Taoist cosmology, you would see a bunch of benevolent starry beings, and not all of them. Not all of them are what human beings would consider to be benevolent. Sometimes you would think that they're malicious, or benign, even, right? But it would present an image of heaven like this, and that the natural world not only is a mechanized thing, but it's also a natural thing, right? So you have Boaz and Joaquin, right? Boaz and Joaquin. On the left-hand side, the pillar of severity shows the mechanization into the sphere of Hod. And then on the right side, the pillar of mercy shows the natural process he's playing out in the sphere of Netzach. And so I think this, to overwhelmingly, like, if your underlying view of the cosmos is negative like this, I don't know, it just seems like it would take the jelly out of my donut to approach it that way. In place for me, when I see this dark image, I have Yuanshi Tianzun at the top of the energy egg, right? And then it's got the Domu Tianjun underneath him, right? The mother god we talked about a moment ago. And then the Basian, the octahedron, is emitting out great cosmic energy, the creation process, which is ongoing. And asked a moment ago, a spiritual guru here on YouTube was asked the question, well, what's the purpose of life? What's the meaning of life? And didn't give a really clear answer, in my opinion, but I have a very clear answer for that in our tradition. The purpose of life is the continuation of life. And the purpose of our lives is to be a workshop of the subtle origin. And so we're working on refining that divine spark within us so that at the time of death, we rise up and out of our bodies and have a spiritual retreat, a spiritual salvation. Whereas people who don't work on that and work toward the negative and destruction and death, they're shat out the lower orifices of their bodies and become hungry ghosts. And as a hungry ghost, they might wander around in limbo for a bit and just kind of be, bummed out that their position has lowered, but then they just sink into the grave and basically disappear. And so for atheists like our friend Buttered Sausages, right, who truly believes in atheism, that is his end result. At the time of death, his brain will turn off, his body will shit out the remaining undeveloped spiritual light. It will turn into a noxious, dank gas that will wander around like he does right now, like a hungry ghost, right? You could see that the truth of his life is playing out in his life, and after death, it's going to be no different, right? And then he'll just wander around in limbo for a little while until he disintegrates into the grave, and then it'll be game over. A perfectly wasted opportunity for spiritual immortality, it's not my place to tell him he's doing the wrong thing, right? Just as I don't feel like it's his fucking place to come into my domain and tell me that I'm doing the wrong thing for cultivating spiritual energy, uniting with the divine origin, and ascending to spiritual immortality. I mean, yeah, to each his own, right? Either walk up the ladder of ascent to the ledge of revelation and meet with the choir of angels who are there, or sink down into the bowels of the earth, man, and just become a dank sewage baby. It's up to you guys. I mean, I'm not going to push you in either direction. It's up to you what you want to do.
And what then is the soul of man? For the Gnostics, it is a fragment of the pleroma, a spark of the true divine realm, trapped within flesh and bone. The soul's descent into the material world is not a blessing, but a fall.
Yeah, that's another angle on with which this Noctis test that I directly disagree with. I think not only is your divine spark yours and yours alone to cultivate, it may or may not return to the great oneness. That's up to you. But you can definitely level up and achieve a body of light, and you can achieve other luminous forms that persist after death. And then you can choose to come back into a new life if you so desire, or you can dwell within this realm, within the prime material plane, as a luminous being, helping and protecting and guiding other people that are still in human form, your own descendants, right? Like we truly have great canons of wealth of knowledge in the Chinese system about ancestral spirits constantly being around you and participating in your life and even warning you when you're about to do something wrong and so on and so forth. And they're constantly watching you. According to the Chinese canon, this idea of privacy, like human privacy, you know, like when Buttered Sausage is probably in there just fucking slamming his buttered sausage as hard as he can for 30 seconds to a minute before he rubs one out. His ancestral spirits are watching him, and they're ashamed that he would live such an existence in such slovenliness and filth, and then harass other people with it. I mean, God, it's just shameful. Absolutely.
A forgetting of its true nature. Life on Earth, in this view, is not a divine gift, but an exile. The soul is born into matter like a prisoner cast into darkness, forgetting its origin and submitting to the false rulers of the world. And this is where the story of Christ takes on its deepest meaning. In the second treatise of the Great Seth, his crucifixion is not an act of submission, but a cosmic jailbreak. He allows the rulers of this world to think they have captured him, that they have silenced him, that they have destroyed the divine. But they have only destroyed an illusion, a puppet he left behind as bait. The crucifixion, then, is not a sacrifice to appease divine wrath. It is a trap sprung upon the cosmic jailers, a staged event that allowed Christ to descend into the deepest layers of the prison, shatter its illusions from within, and escape back to the fullness of the pleroma, leaving the archons humiliated and powerless.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily disagree with all the tenets of what they're talking about here, but I believe that this is each and every individual's God-given right to cultivate the divinity within. Like I said, I don't view, like many of these Gnostics will call the body the meat suit, and that seems so profane and sacrilegious. In the Taoist tradition, we have the Taiji, the yin-yang symbol, and so the physical is just as important as the spiritual is, and the spiritual is just as important as the physical, and they're intermingled. We breathe in spirit, right? And it animates matter. And so you need the divine spark, but you also need the vehicle that houses it, at least during this short lifetime on Earth. And as a result, you should take care of it and nourish it and have pleasant thoughts and do meditation and qigong and do many great works, right? Get out there and help people if you feel compelled to do so, and help your family and help yourself, and do many things that benefit all of the rest of humanity, and maybe even, you know, the animal kingdom or whatever, and leave something behind for posterity, right? So this abjectly pessimistic view of the material it's not rooted in deep spirituality. It's rooted in wrong-headedness, in my opinion.
But perhaps the most powerful part of this story is not that Christ escaped. It is that he showed the way out. Because according to the Gnostics, every human soul carries within it the same divine spark. Every soul has fallen from the pleroma and now wanders lost in the world of flesh and form.
And you can see too how they usurp ideas from other traditions and then include it in their own tradition so that they give veracity to the tenets of their teachings. Whereas when you get back to the Western mystery traditions, there are compilations of this information that can be approached as source material, and you don't have to go in a negative direction just because someone took the light and perversed it for their own ill-gotten gains. So that's one thing. Like the divine spark appears in the Chinese tradition as well, right? It's the Linghun, and it's quite well mapped out and articulated at great length in the Chinese doctrines. And that's why I find a lot more richness and depth in many of the ancient Oriental teachings of the Grand Orient, right? Of the internal alchemy and other things along those lines. And that's why I'm glad that I have that foundation to balance my interpretation of things like this.
And Christ, by defeating the rulers through deception, revealed that the prison can be broken, not by obedience, not by sacrifice, but by awakening, by recognizing that the world itself is the lie. And in that escape, Christ didn't just free himself. He showed the way out for every soul still trapped in the illusion of flesh and form. The prison remains, but the door has been opened. Whether we choose to walk through it is another question entirely. But this is where the implications of the Gnostic vision become not only radical, but profoundly disturbing for anyone raised within traditional Christianity. Because in this worldview, Jesus did not come to reconcile humanity with its creator. He came to reject that creator entirely, and not out of hatred, but out of truth. But let's be precise. The demiurge, in most Gnostic systems, is not evil in the way we think of evil. He is not a devil plotting humanity's ruin. He is something far more tragic, an ignorant creator, a being who, separated from the fullness of the divine source, the pleroma, tries to create a universe, but does so blindly, without understanding. He believes himself to be the supreme God, simply because he cannot see beyond his own limited creation. He mistakes his small kingdom of matter, time, and death for the totality of existence. This blindness is what makes the demiurge dangerous, not conscious malice, but unconscious arrogance.
Welcome to the transmission. I hope you're doing well. Good to see you, Lord Racer. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it, man. Good to see you, Voy. I hope you're doing well. We're looking over a little Gnostic material here about the Demiurge and the Archons, and I'm kind of breaking it down and giving some Taoist perspective on some of this. Seems a little dark and dire, and if this is your world paradigm, like Queen Stephanie of Team Evil, I can see how you think that you live in a hell realm, and you know, to each his own. If that's the realm you want to live in, then that's fine and dandy. But for me, it's much different. Nature is nature. The mechanization is mechanization. Yeah, the celestial realm is the celestial. We live in a terrestrial plane, right? So, below that is the infernal plane, and these various planes and their attributes have varying qualities. And you can ascend upward into the celestial realm, or you can descend downward into the infernal realm. And it's kind of up to you on how you live your life. Hey, we've got a visitor here on the panel, guys. Voy is here, so everybody get ready to welcome Voy to the stage. Good to see you. Good looking out. Let me pop you in here. If you're ready, give me the signal. And we're looking good. Okay, yeah, we're good to go. Excellent.
Always looking sexy, dude. Always looking sexy. I mean, just like yourself.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, good looking out. Good looking sexy man. I can appreciate that. I know what that's like. You doing all right out in Happy Land tonight, man? What's going on?
Yeah, dude. I'm just kind of panel hopping, you know. So, and I saw that there was not much of a panel going on, so I thought, let's make this a panel.
Yeah, let's make it happen. Why not?
You totally deserve it. You know, I mean, I don't understand how you're streaming for 110 minutes and there's still no panel going on. Come on, let's get this shit on the road. Come on.
Yeah, there aren't that many folks that resonate with these ideas. You know, they're doing their own thing, and which is cool. That's that's fine and dandy with me. I was having fun here listening to this video. What do you think about that? Have you heard about some of these Gnostic ideas before?
I just clicked your channel and then clicked the link, so I don't know what you were talking about.
Oh, okay. So this video was going over like the Demiurge and the Archons and the idea that our prime material plane, like the Earth and our terrestrial realm, was created by like a blind idiot god that had separated himself from the pleroma. And so the pleroma, I would imagine, is like the celestial sphere of divine immortals. And then having descended into his own kind of pocket universe, he created our realm as a prison. And then we're all like shattered sparks of the divine light. And we're trapped here, and he's sucking the loosh out of us, so to speak. I'm crossing terminologies, I'm mixing metaphors and so on and so forth. But that...
Yeah, and I hear what you're saying. But I hear what you're saying there, Frank. And I think You know,
Yeah, that gives you the
most-
60-second elevator pitch.
Yeah, and I think you're right there. You know, I think that the the Yoldabot, the antidote, or not the antidote, the antagonist is actually the ruler of this world. So, I mean, that was your question, right? Or am I taking this wrong? But yeah, I think that this is not even God's green world. I think this is Satan's green world. The seeds that we sow, the seeds that grow, the trees and the flowers and the bush, I think they're all Satan's, to be honest.
Really? Explain. Yeah, elaborate a little.
Yeah.
What do you?
Well,
Yeah.
I
What
mean-
led you to those beliefs? And
Well, Satan needs a fantasy, and Satan needs continuation beyond its own destruction, right? So it created that green realm, you know, to provide the red realm.
okay, so like this is the fuel for the fire of the infernal realm.
Yeah, you heard me. Thank you. You know, that doesn't happen every time. But yeah, I'm afraid, I'm not sure, but I'm afraid that this is not God's green world. I think it's Satan's green world. Maybe even just for the physical, for the simple physical structure of hell needing fuel, right? It needs all the old wood that it takes from Earth to burn the heat, to burn so much fuel that there's heat in hell. I mean, it sounds reasonable, doesn't it?
Well, I guess yeah, it could. You know, who am I to dispute
Well,
any man's
I
paradigm?
I want you to dispute this. Come on.
Well, you know that I'm steeped in and deeply rooted in esoteric Taoism, and we
Yeah.
view things very differently.
I thought you could take it on. You know.
Yeah, no. I mean, we have a very different perspective in the tradition that I've learned and follow, and so my thoughts about it would be very different than that. That's all. Would you like me to elaborate on those a little?
Yes, please.
Okay, so in the three-tiered like Dantian system of Chinese Qigong, we have the center Dantian, which is basically like where the heart chakra is, and this represents our connection to the terrestrial sphere. And so we don't see these things as good or bad. We just see them as self-so. They're just self-so. So in the Chinese system of Tao, there may be a god of the underworld. We call him Mo Wang, or the god of death. But there is intrinsically elaborated this idea of a spiritual, like what we call the timeless homeland. And it's a little different from the celestial realm. Like the realm of the celestials would include the Angalai and Archangalai and the seat of the throne of heaven, right? Where God himself dwells, and with his his feminine counterpart. And they bring forth all of the things that come after them, and it descends down from heaven and animates the matter of our plane. So with this three-plane understanding, that the top Dantian in the head represents its connection to the celestial sphere. The center Dantian of the heart represents our connection to humankind and the terrestrial sphere. And then the lower Dantian at like the gate of Yesod, the sexual alchemy center of like wherever where your sexual organs are located. That's the lower Dantian, yeah. And that represents the infernal realm. And so it's a very simplified system of three archangels within the body, so to speak, three guardian angels. There's a little devil down in the infernal realm. There's a magician at the heart center. And then there's a celestial being, like an angel, in the upper Dantian. And depending on how you utilize your time and energy in the workshop of the human body, you can either ascend into the celestial realm after death, be reborn back into the human realm, or descend into the real hell realm, or the ghost realm below. And so you have one of three choices. It's like a triangulation of understandings. Hey, KJV's here as well. KJV, welcome to the show. I hope this is you, amigo. I'm going to go ahead and pop you on because
What?
I've
No, he's my enemy. He's my
Is he?
he's my worst
Is he really?
enemy. Yeah, he is.
So I think that where our two hypotheses would deviate is that the realm in and of itself isn't necessarily evil, or that the creator of it isn't evil, but it just is. It is what it is. And the human tendency to dichotomize things into good and evil, that's within the conceptual realm. And the reason we do that is because we appear between heaven and earth. We appear between the celestial realm and the infernal realm. And as a result, we love to point up and below, right? As above, so below. We love to make this.
Saying that, Frank, but do you
Yeah.
think this is a given to human beings, or do you think this is because of our programming?
All of it's different programming, right? We're running different programs. So like this Gnostic material would be one form of programming. My Taoist material would be
No,
another
that's too
form of
much worse.
programming.
That's too much worse. And I know that you do like to pontificate, but I also know that you are able to give straight answers. Do you think?
Well, go ahead.
Yeah. Do you think that this position that we are in is because of programming, or do you think it's just a default thing?
I think that here's what I think in genuineness. I don't think that anybody should like believe too strongly in anything, and that you should get out there and try to do some experimentation and work and figure more things out. If you can develop certain sensitivities, like what I believe are clairvoyance and true seeing and scrying in the spirit vision, then that's going to give you at least experiential evidence that you can compare with other magicians, and it may be closer to truth than most other teachings. But that's just me. I'm on the path of the magician, right? And so it's what I explore. But Caleb's here. Caleb says hello. He says, welcome to the chat, KJV.
That's
hey
a
there,
good
Frank
song.
London. And,
Mic check.
And boy, Ricardo's out there too. I didn't see Ricardo. Yeah,
I
Mike's
can
looking
hear
good.
you. I can hear you, London man.
Yeah, you're doing
Yeah,
good,
London.
London. Jump in.
Yeah, I like
Yes.
what you were saying about existing in the middle. Right.
Yeah.
Existing in the middle. I mean,
Yeah, you've been bringing
that's-
forward the idea
that's
that
what we
we're in the
see,
middle
right?
of the
That-
eye, right?
yeah.
So yeah, expand on that.
I mean, even when if you look at this realm that we live in, whether it's going up or going down, we can just about go to a certain depth, and we can just about go to a certain height, right? So there you go. Look, flat Earth. This boy, he's on to that part already. Existing in the middle, right, is what I'm trying to say. Whether you're climbing up a mountain, there's only so high you can go. Whether you're going below the ocean, there's only so deep you can go. There's a perfect foundation in the middle, right? Existing in the middle. And I don't think that is possible to exist in the middle on a curved ball.
Okay.
Right. On a curved ball. Inside of a ball, I think inside of a ball you can find a middle, a ground, common ground, but yeah, I don't know.
Well, yeah, I was introduced to that way of thinking a while back as well, and it's within the Taoist cosmology, and they thought of our realms as like similar to a bubble, and so everything would be hermetically sealed within a bubble, and then you would have that sea level plane, right? Probably like the bottom third of it, and then the top 2/3 would be the celestial dome. And that jives kind of resonates with the idea you're bringing forward of it being similar to an eye with a kind of black hole at its core. If I'm correct in thinking that.
Well, I mean, even the black hole analogy, this has become a thing now. I mean, I've been seeing all these scientists saying, are we living in a black hole? It seems we may have it wrong. It seems like we're living in a black hole, blah, blah. So I can see them later on down the years it's going to be a thing now. The black hole, it's going to be the thing, right? There's going to be
Yeah,
no escaping
yeah.
it. Mhm.
Yeah, the Taoists, in fact, they agree with this. They say that all of the wondrousness of the cosmos springs from what they call the dark gate, and I likened it to like what like a double black hole would be. They said that it appears as darkness within darkness, and that's the gate to all mystery. And so they have this sense of like a like dualistic black hole, and then everything being contained within it. So kind of an idea there, a bit of a connection, and they have a name for it. It's called Jiutian Xuannu or Jiutian Xuanmu in its original Chinese, which doesn't matter. It just says 9 heavens, dark goddess, kind of like the Egyptian goddess Nuit.
Hey, you know what? I like the way how you can break it down what it means in different cultures, bro. That's hella cool, man. I like that shit. Salute to you for that, bro. That's brilliant stuff. I'm glad you're on my team, bro. Yeah.
Do either of you guys know someone named Abstract Angel Artist?
If I would know somebody by that name, I wouldn't admit to it because I fucking hate the definition of it. Abstract angel artist. It's like somebody that wants to it's like somebody who wants to impress without any responsibility. It sounds like a leftist liberal to me.
Okay, as soon as I read their name out loud, that's verified by YouTube, not what they wrote in StreamYard, they jumped out of the way.
Cool. See that? There's the proof. Well, there's the evidence.
Yeah, I'm suspicious as to who it might be anyway.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't think if you open a panel, yeah, and a couple of good-looking, sexy guys like London and Voice show up, why do you need anybody else, right?
There
you know
go.
what I'm saying?
There you go. Mhm.
I mean, even if you have me as your friend, you don't need any enemies either.
Hella.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. With friends like Voy, you don't need any enemies.
Yo.
True that.
So just be efficient and, just friend me.
Just friend me. Just friend me. Yeah,
that's good magic. Yeah, Callum says programming can sometimes align with truth. My point, though, is you don't need the programming to see the truth. So choice is easy for me. Lose the programming, just see what is.
I
What
like
do you guys
that.
think about all that? You like that?
I like that.
Oh, Callum knows how to do that.
Mm-hmm. That's a pure soul. Callum's a pure soul.
Yeah. He goes on to say that Voy is a friend to me, the ultimate friend to me.
Well, I will take that as a compliment. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's good magic. What do you got going on these days, Voy? You guys are kind of near each other, you in London, right? So you're in similar time zones.
No, we're in different time zones. The Netherlands should be in the English time zone, but that's a whole different topic.
But you'd be just like 1 hour ahead of him, right?
Yeah.
I'll take that. It's not too far off an hour. I can deal with an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's interesting to me because if I'm broadcasting at night, I'll be catching you guys in the morning or day usually. Let's say it says Stockholm right now is 5 p.m. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Berlin 5.
Stockholm 5 exact, dude.
4 exact over there.
On the nose, huh? 4 p.m. in Dublin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good magic. Oh, he's back. Let's see what it is this time. He says we're snakes, and he's popping in here. Ooh. Yeah, you're snakes, and he's really pontificating in the private chat back there. I guess he just jumped in to say.
Oh, the daemon.
Yeah, it's the daemon.
Back chat. I didn't even realize. Oh shit.
I already did my my exorcism.
Stay away.
I said, stay away.
How funny. Should we bring that demon up here and grill him with the light of God?
Well, no, just leave him struggling there, in the pit. Please leave the creature struggling in the pit for a little while longer.
Yeah, he showed up with a reason. He's got a dirty diaper to change. He's banging his rattle, sucking on his pacifier. He's like, I need to. I want to be heard. He wants mommy to stick a nipple in his mouth. Yeah, I don't know. I gave homie showed up a few times in the recent past.
Homie.
And homie Damon, and I brought him up every time, but every time he just launched immediately into like community strike type language, like just constant F word, N word, F word, N word.
Oh, what? Color me surprised.
Right, just non-stop. And it's like, wow. You know, he's just sort of porn bombing. He's so low level.
He never did that on any other channel. I think it's just you.
I think it's just me. So it's the way he attacks me. I don't know why he's got to stick up his ass.
He's well behaved over at Jack's. He's like a good dog.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Very rarely does he show his horns.
Yeah. Yeah.
But occasionally his little pointy tail slips out from under his dress. And, he can't help but let that forked tongue slither out of his rotting gob and say something to let everybody know who he really is.
Just can't let it, can he?
Fuck. Oh shit. Yeah. I'm the only one who's seen it.
And you guys might not know this, but he was my first introduction to the Panelverse. That was the first person I saw doing panel chats. That's what like YouTube recommended to me. Yeah, it was weird.
Oh, I feel so sorry for you. I mean, can I offer some apologies from the Panelverse itself?
No worries. I was raised in the Hellfires. I knew that was the bottom. As soon as I entered in, I knew that was the very bottom of the thing.
Yeah. Basement.
Yeah, I knew I could only go up from there, right?
Yeah.
Well, you only work your way up slightly. I mean, you're down here still with Voy and KGV. I mean, that's
fuck no, man! You guys,
not up there.
You guys are troopers of spiritual light compared to most of these fuckers
down here
out there.
in the gutters. Still down here in the gutters.
Well, depending how much levels this building's got. If it's got only 3 built floors, then yeah, he's made it top floor, mate. We'll take it.
That's right. That's right.
Take it.
Yeah, so London, you're working on some good things. You're about to drop a new video. How long do you think it'll be before you get that one ready?
Don't want to put a time on it, but I'll say
about
another 2 weeks. Just to be on the safe side, because I want to say sooner, but when I say sooner and I upload it, I'm gonna be like, oh man, I should have added that to it. Fuck, knew I should have waited. So I like to wait it out now. It's a waiting game.
Yeah, I'll be looking forward to that. You've given me a few sneak peeks into some of the material you're compiling, and it's really eye-opening. Does Voy know anything about what you got going on, or has he watched any of your backlog?
Oh, it's probably another video on Step Hen. What he always does.
No, it's okay experiment.
No, he did some good work on that. Yeah, I think that's how I found you too.
I think that's how a few people found me. Yes, correct.
He watches you and he's over there screaming and yelling and rolling around in it, and beating his hand on the ground. And, why do they vilify me so? Plugging away at the keyboard with a bag of Doritos stuffed in his mouth. Yeah, it's really shameful the way he behaves.
I know.
Unimaginable. Anyways, no big deal.
The LARP is off the maps. It's off the scale. It's off the scale. The LARP.
It's off the scale. Off the Richter.
Off the scale, Richter.
I mean, I could expect that from a minor or something, but
yeah,
full-grown adult.
I mean, I even have trouble with you naming him that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I Yeah.
I try to avoid it for the most part. That's why I'm coming up with nicknames for everyone. Like now, I've got three enemies that I know of right now. I got Queen Steffi, and then I guess buttered sausage. Now I guess he's taken a liking to trying to lampoon me, and then Illumitami. He's talked a little bit of shit. I think he's even made a couple of videos. Calls me Bobby Tuesday.
Bobby Tuesday.
How do you feel about it? You actually like that, right? Poppy Tuesday.
I like that one, Bobby Tuesday. What the fuck? Where did he get that from? Bobby Tuesday.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't give a fuck either way. Frank Sinatra had a really good opinion about this. He said, anytime anybody's out there talking shit about you, all they're really doing is polishing your shoes, just getting you ready to shine. And I find that to be true. Like, again, you know, I found you, KJV, because somebody else was talking shit about you. And I'm like, how bad is this guy really? You know, so I jam over to your channel and you're actually cracking open the egg, you know. You're busting straight into fucking truth and brass tacks. And I haven't even watched Steven like maybe once or twice in the past 6 months. It's like, you know, he just totally lost anyone that like of value that would try to find, like, even if someone tries to find value in what he's doing, it's really hard to do because of his like really, really intense level of negativity. It's just not something I can stomach.
I hear what you're saying, but I've seen some other channels promoting him, and I was like, huh? Even here, out of the Panelverse, they are promoting Steven's channel because he said Hell Realm.
Yeah.
He said Hell Realm, and now everybody's, oh yeah, but this Steven's got such a great definition of the Hell Realm. No, he doesn't. No, really, he doesn't. He just he's just jumping that train, you know. I mean, he doesn't have any actual definition in his own mind of the Hell Realm. He's just jumping that train. That's all he does. And
yeah, we see it playing out.
What I don't understand is that some big channels, even some big channels, jump onto this. I've seen it happen, you know. So.
I know.
You know what I'm talking about, KJV? I mean,
yeah, of course. I mean, look, boy, you know, when I first heard that term, right, Hell Realm, I was like, what the fuck? I need to know what that is. What is that? Right? But the only person that was, you know, promoting it at the time was Steven, right? So I thought, you know what? Let me get this cat over here and see what this Hell Realm is all about. But after a while, I was like, this is bullshit. Right? It's bullshit. No one's brought anything to me to make me think, yeah, it's Hell Realm. All right, cool. Animals eat each other. Cool, we get that. We eat animals. Cool, we get that. Other than that, what is hell about this place? Other than, you know, the powers that shouldn't be, but it's like a terrestrial paradise in hindsight, right?
Dude, even if he was right,
not much
even
of a hell
if he
realm,
was right and it is a hell realm, I would not, commit or subscribe to his definition of it.
Yeah.
Well,
that's pretty much.
There's a hell in the Taoist cosmology too, but like if you've seen some of the artwork and the way they depict it, it's more like Dante's Inferno, you know. And so to think that this is that, I think is a little bit short-sighted. And when he ends up with what he's wishing for, you know, because it's what he focuses on all the time and it's what he's concentrating on, which by the propensity of the mind, that's where he's going to go. Sadly, you know, he thinks he's going up and out, but he's constantly focused on recycling and trapping in and being destroyed, right, by the hell realm.
You're the demon. You're the daemon, Frank. You're the daemon.
Yeah, that's right.
You're the daemon.
So his propensity is he's going to be, you know, at the time of death, chances are he's going to be face to face with the Lord of Death. And he'll be like, welcome home, Stephen. Time to burn in the pit, baby.
We've been expecting you. We've been expecting you. Come in. You know
right,
you're
that's right.
Come in.
Right.
Where else do you think Stefan, where else do you think you want to go instead?
That's right.
This is the actual hell. It's not a hell realm. Welcome to actual hell, Stefan. Step neither.
Yeah, so the Chinese one is pretty dank, man. Like a lot of really dire imagery, and it resonates too. I don't know if like your effect on like art has ever had an effect on you, that like really powerful art can enter into your dreams. But like, yeah, I've seen old Mo Wong hanging out in Dreamland, man, and it's nothing to fucking joke about and act like that's where you're at, because it's not. Here's a fun AI one they made on Chinese TikTok. I'll play it real quick. I think I showed it to you guys last time. Let me see if it'll. I don't even know if it'll pop on its own. Yeah, Mo Wong, green face, red beard. Check this demon out. Yeah, there he is there.
出身寒微，不是耻辱，能屈能伸，方为丈夫。回去吧。
Can you guys see him?
Yeah. Green. Red bear.
Yeah.
Need some translation on this, Frank.
He just says, you've arrived at hell too soon. You've been a virtuous guy. You can head back to the terrestrial plane and live another 30 years of fortune.
Ow. Ow.
So this, yeah, this is actually a good one. There are a lot of bad ones out there too. Like this says Sheng Tsun here. This is the book of life and death, or the book of life. And so, yeah, the reason I downloaded this one is because it actually has like a beneficial message. He's like, you arrived too soon. Get the hell out of here. Go back to life and live for a while. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Another
But
30 years.
Yeah,
30
they do a lot
more
of
years,
these,
master. Oh.
Yeah, they do a lot of these in Chinese, and some of them say you're going to have really bad fortune and you're going to be trapped here for 1,000 years or whatever. And then it will like spell out the torture you're going to have to endure for that a lot of time. It's kind of funny, but it's like, it's based on the Chinese Taoist perspective of a hell realm, you know, and far different than what we would consider our terrestrial paradise to be. So I think I'm a little more aligned with KJV in that sentiment. But again, I'm not here to change anyone's mind. You know, I'm just trying to present what I find, and then find some of what you guys are presenting, and then try to make a better synthesis. You know, that's what it's all about. Hypothesis, antithesis, and then synthesis.
No, please, not the synthesis.
No, why? Tell me why. Tell me why.
Like, do you have a car? No, you don't.
Oh, is there a car called that?
You said, because you said, tell me more. And so, does he have a car? No, he doesn't have a car. You don't have a car.
No.
I do have a car. So I don't want to integrate, because you're all going to be using my car. You know.
I hear
And
you
you're
there.
going to call it our car, right?
Right.
No, I don't. Yeah. I don't
That's
like that.
immediately how that goes every time.
That's usually how that goes. I've been there, so you know I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
But if
That's
you guys
exactly
think
how it
that this
works.
will be heaven on earth, then, well, let's try it. I mean, I tried
Well, that's
it.
the way it went down. That's the way it went down with my wife, right? When we first got married, it was my money. Then it started becoming our money. Now it's her money.
Yeah, right. See, that's how that goes.
Like, what the fuck happened there?
Yeah, you've been
It's not
there.
what I signed up for.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes, right, and that's how it transforms, boy, too, right? It becomes your car. Hey, can I borrow your car? Then it becomes the car, right? Hey,
What
go on and take
happened?
the car.
What the fuck happened to our car?
Right, no, then it becomes our car, right? And then after that, it becomes my car.
Yeah. The car.
But you have to
Like,
pay. You still have to pay for it, right? I mean, don't you want to drive? Don't you want me to drive your car? I mean, you're gonna have to pay for your car.
I'll be jumping up, asking you, grabbing the keys. I'll be like, "Boy, why didn't you put any gas in my car?"
Right? I know, I've been there, dude. Yeah.
It's fucking horrifying.
No, I mean,
Well,
and it actually went down like that. Yeah.
That reminds me of Friday when you know, the neighborhood bully, he comes over to borrow someone's bike, but the owner of the bike wants his bike back. He says, "Hey, where's my bike?" He means, you mean my bike, punk, my bike. Ooh.
That's right. Yeah, in the U.S., they kind of buy into that philosophy too. They say that possession is 9 parts of the law, or like if you have it in your possession, then you're 90% the owner of it, even if someone else is even entitled to it. And that's why we get things like squatters' rights for people who squat on land and stuff. Yeah, they can suddenly just start claiming that shit for their own.
That's why when you steal something, you need to sell it immediately. You know.
That's crazy, boy.
Yeah, that's fencing stolen goods.
I mean, I know the rules.
Yeah, but you're right about that. That's why in the States they set it up. They had the pawn shop and the gun shop, right next to each other.
Damn.
And so you go out, you get a gun, then you go out and rob someone and bring it back to the pawn shop, and they're all happy,
Yeah. It's just business as usual. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, my father called it manufactured crime. That they would go out and intentionally set up the grid to manufacture crime.
Yeah.
That's what they do, dude. That's the communist business. Enable crime.
Yeah,
their business model.
Yeah.
And not only do they enable the crime, they enable the materials for you to start the crime, whether it's let's keep it real, some of these crimes actually are committed while people are on drugs, if you know what I mean, or alcohol. Right?
Yeah, or being paid to be on drugs and alcohol while protesting and being provided. Yes, you're right, KGV. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and it's institutional. They make the drugs free and legal in many of these liberal states now, and then they just encourage everyone to go out and cause chaos, and it's a thing, man. It really is.
Mental.
Indeed.
What's happening with the wars and stuff? I really don't pay attention to the news and these things. Any more bombs?
Okay, well, let me tell you that Russia won, but that that's not something that happened in the last days. That happened like 2, 3, 4, fucking 5, 6, 7, 20 years ago. Russia won, and Israel lost. So that's what's happening in the wars. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't been keeping up with them anyway.
I do.
Either. Mostly because it's just not really applicable to my life, like what I've got going on. I hear about it in the news, and I tune in now and again, but I don't have any vested interest in it per se. Not that I know of, anyway.
Yeah,
maybe.
And to be honest, right? Sometimes I feel like my life is better if I live it that way, right? So when I see people like Jack and they want to end wars, I'm like, just act like it don't exist, Jack. Then you'll feel better.
Just fucking ignore them.
Just ignore it. It might go away. You never know. It might go away if you ignore it. I mean, Stephen didn't he? Or is he still back there?
Let's have a look. I think he's still back there.
Yeah, I don't know.
No. It's been 18 minutes. I think he lost the play.
Well, I just heard the bell pop, so someone either popped in or popped out. Let me see. No, it looks like it's just me, you, and KJV. I guess he bailed. He got bored.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah, like I said, I gave him, I don't know, half a dozen opportunities to come up, but every time it was just, he started with that same line of rhetoric that it instigates a community strike, no matter which way you look at it. I mean, they have a TOS.
But how about
they have a TOS here on YouTube?
How about, not only his mentioning the TOS, how about his monotone voice all the time?
Yeah, I know, it's
boring to begin with.
Pretty gay. It's pretty gay.
That's like, and he actually uses that monotone voice as a feature, right?
Yeah,
he thinks that using the monotone voice is gonna, it works. And it's that you're using the monotone voice. It's gonna work. It does work for him in some manner. Fuck, dude, I can't do this. I can't.
And no, I don't mean to be like politically incorrect or something, but for some reason I've never really had very good experiences with Canadians. I don't know what's up with that. There are a couple. I have met a couple of Canadians that I got along with, but for like the most part, like every Canadian that I've met or that plays out in real time, like they always end up being a snake, or like for some reason I just think they dislike Americans. So I've grown to like have kind of a dislike for the Canadian accent. I just don't really like it. I like the British accent. I like even the Australian accent I can tolerate, but the Canadian accent just seems to grind my fucking gears, man.
Well, the thing is, it's not really an accent, right? It's like speaking English in the least how do you say this, obnoxious way. They're just trying to make it all sound like. No, I can't even do it. I can't even do it. But then again, no. I know about this guy who has a husband, and he doesn't. Even the gay guy, doesn't want to speak Canadian. When it's the best way in to speak Canadian. To have nobody will recognize a Canadian accent. Yeah.
Okay.
It sounds halfway-ish Canadian. It sounds like it's just a group of people that just watched a bunch of English-speaking movies, but fell asleep at the best parks. So they sound like that.
Kinda, huh? Yeah.
Yeah. There's just something off about it. I don't know. Like
it's
the British
accent.
accent.
To get them. It's the Canadian accent is very difficult to do because it's so subtle. It is.
And
so
don't get me
subtle.
wrong, I got nothing against Canadians. There's probably some great people up there. But
because
I've only met
because the 10th man lives there, and he's talking about his husband. And I fucking hate people that talk about their husband and in the male form. That's just unacceptable.
What are you talking about? The guy that's always on flows?
Oh yeah, I mean I've even tried to emulate his voice because he's always talking with his mouth open. Always talking.
Yeah, who is that? Who is that? I'm not familiar with that person.
I'm not gonna say the guy's name.
Okay, no, yeah, I got you. I watch.
Anytime you hear somebody say, anytime you hear a guy's voice saying "my husband," it's the guy that I hate. Okay,
my husband,
please. Okay, sorry, Frank. Yeah, I just had to say.
Oh, no worries. I don't have any strong feelings in either direction about all that stuff. I mean, like again, I'm taking a page out of KJV's book here. People are going to get out there and do what they're going to do. Just let them get out there and shake their ass. That ain't nothing to it. It's not a part of my life, so I don't really necessarily interact with it per se to any great extent. I do visit to Flows from time to time, though. Sometimes he's got some dynamite issues going on or something fun and interesting. But the main thing is that it seems like he's almost always on. Like it seems like his live show is 24/7 almost at this point.
It's like Las Vegas over there. Fucking
yeah, that's exactly the feel it has. That's right. And those gambling addicts, they're over there dropping money to do different things. And yeah, it's got a very Vegas feel. Like, don't talk about what time it is. Don't talk about coming or going. Don't talk about having lunch. Don't talk about using the bathroom. Just sit at the fucking table and gamble.
Wow, man, that's. I think that's the best metaphor I've heard in several months.
Yeah, you're right, London. He's created the quintessential Vegas feel to his show. That's what it's all about.
Little Vegas, I'm telling you.
Yeah. Not lying.
Yeah, there's no clocks on the walls. The bathrooms are not highlighted. There's just a blackjack and the poker table with good-looking gals walking around giving drinks.
That's it.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing.
Say something smart, quick.
That's right. Keep it lively. Keep them jumping. Keep them barking like Pavlov's dog. Y'all make sure to check me out on buymeacoffee.com/Frank Money. Throw something in the tip jar. You guys got me talking about flow. I'm talking about the grift, baby. Get in there to win it. In it to win it. Hit the likes for the algobots. Keep them barking like Pavlov's dog.
Oh man, when you do it like that, I'm gonna do it the 10th man impersonation.
Yeah, what you got? Break it down for us, boy.
I can't do the 10th man impersonation that well. I don't have the fake un-Canadian accent down yet. So I'm just gonna keep on trying. I'm just gonna keep on failing.
Hey, Void, you know what though? If there was one Canadian in here that I've never had a problem with, they always seem to be cool, down to earth, would have to be, Jesse.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's the exception to it. Yeah.
Is she Canadian or Australian? I thought she was Australian.
No, he means Jesse. From, the Missing Link.
The Missing Link. That's the guy. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm not familiar. I thought you were talking about that gal who does.
Not just white. No.
Oh, it's just white.
That's just another gay channel. That's.
Is it?
No, that's. Listen, I unsubbed from Just White. I mean, that was just too gay. You know, I can stand some gaiety, but not pushed gaiety. Okay, I mean, gaiety is okay. You know, be gay, but you don't have to push it, and you don't have to make it into a fucking business fucking model. Just White, please.
Right. Don't push your politics on me. Right. Check your politics at the door.
Oh, Jess does. Jess does. So that's what I have against her.
They tend to.
And,
have you noticed that? Go ahead.
No. Please go ahead. I've noticed that. Yeah, I've noticed that.
I was just going to say that's the big difference between people who are kind of cultivating their own life and like seeking truth. They might share it with you, but they're not going to push it on you. But the other people who have like this overt agenda of like, it looks like darkness to me. It's just like dire and dank, and they're like trying to push you down in the hell realm or something. They always have to force feed you their opinion.
Yeah.
It's so backwards. It's like true seekers of enlightenment. They're willing to share it with you and talk to you about it, but they don't give a fuck if you believe it or understand it or care about it, and they don't have to push it on you. That's just like the antithetical difference.
The thing is, all the characters that do that, they all have a lisp or a speech impediment, or they shout out loud or yell. Jess doesn't have a speech impediment. She doesn't have a lisp, but what does she do? She shouts all the time in Australia. Yeah. No, you're wrong.
You cunt.
Dude, I mean, yeah, I like a feisty women, right? I like my tomboys, but that's just a bit too much. And that's only when she starts talking. So that's, I mean, come on.
Ricardo Sunshine said it right. He said Aussies are better than Canadians.
Well, they might be, but hey, fuck hell, whatever care. Oh, look at me care. Do I care? I don't care a fucking cock shit about it. Do I?
Right.
No.
Well, you got to think about it, boy. Like, you live in a civilized district where, like, homes are...
Oh, that's what you say. Oh, that's what you say.
People could talk to each other in, like, polite, civilized voices. But these guys are living out in the wilderness in the outback. And, like, so they're always yelling across, like, vast, empty spaces at each other, you know?
Yeah.
What are you doing over there, you bloody...
Can you hear me? Can you fucking hear me, a cunt? On the other side of the road? Hey.
So they don't know about what's going on in the confines of polite society. You know what I'm saying? They just don't get it.
I think you cunts can't hear me, so I'll have to shout a bit louder then. Okay.
They're in the bloody outback, getting it done. You know, we're all in pretty metropolitan areas. I mean, other than Voy. I mean, like KGV's in London, Frank Monday's in Peking. Voy's in the largest metropolitan center in his area, right?
That's me.
Boy, I keep forgetting where you're at. You're in Denmark somewhere, right?
I'm in Denmark. Yeah.
And you have a channel too, right? Like, what kind? Have you done any new uploads? Have you got anything going on over there? You got some videos ready to drop?
I don't have a channel. It's inactive, and if people follow me, they're fucking stupid. That's
okay.
That's
no, you had some art stuff up there. I went over and checked out your channel. I subbed up. I remember.
Did you sub up?
I did, of course. Sub me and I'll sub you back.
You're stupid. You're one of the crew now. In stupid land. Yeah.
A tupido. Una tupido retardo. Tupido retardo. That's how the Mexicans say it. They say, "Tú es un tupido retardo, amigo. What's up, vato?" Odale. Yeah, I grew up in the hood, man. So I have plenty of Mexies around. But now I'm living in a Chinese hood.
Yeah, it's the real thing, right?
It's good magic, man. It's a real deal. One big motherfucking ghetto, baby. We got some old world stuff here, though. I've been looking into a little bit. I've been planning some videos. I've got some partially finished. I've got some others I'm working on. But I'm like KJV, you know. You got to have inspiration. You got to let that thing take its time to grow and form. You can't just be rushing out content like a robot. I mean, that's why the YouTubes these days, they're just getting filled with AI slop and people grinding shit out. And it's just become a habit for people to watch them. It's not like there's not a lot of groundbreaking content coming out, you know, and that stuff takes time and thought and energy to produce.
And
I'm
also,
looking forward to, go ahead.
Yeah. And also real life observations, right? That makes content better than content reacting on content. Wouldn't you say? Right. I mean, even though that is a substantial amount of content, right? Content about content. It's the same about books being about books and about TV being about TV, right? It's a very substantial thing. That's actually what makes literature literature. Literature is only called literature if it references other books, right? That's the only. Yeah, if you don't reference other books, you will never be called literature. So that's why
you got to cite your sources.
Yeah, and the same thing goes for YouTube. So that's a big bunch of the content. Is, you know, it might be 40 or even 50 or 60% of the content is reacting on other content, which is not a bad thing, but.
No, not in and of itself. No, I did an hour plus video on buttered sausage the other day, and he ended up making like 4 videos about it. And I thought, God damn, motherfucker's got time on his hands, right? I am working.
Buttered sausage. What is that? Buttered sausage.
No, Real Breakfast Taco. That's the guy that I did an interview on his show.
Ah,
are you familiar with them at all, or no?
No. That name sounds familiar. I've heard it somewhere, breakfast taco, but I haven't heard.
Yeah, I call him buttered sausage because I'd rather call people by their nicknames.
Okay, got you.
Yeah. But yeah, so like I don't know, you know, and I forgot about it as soon as I did it. I'm like, what kind of went bad towards the end. He turned an interview into a bit of an interrogation and then tried to make it like an intervention. He's like, well, if you have spiritual beliefs, then you're obviously, you know, have mental health problems, or you're psychotic, or suffering from hallucinations and schizophrenia, or whatever, this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, fuck all this, man. I thought you want a little interview, a little polite banter back and forth. I didn't come here to debate or have you talk shit to me. So I bailed at that point. And he said that I rage quit, but I didn't rage quit. I gave him probably 5 opportunities to switch his line of questioning. And I told him, I said, I've gone to psychotherapy. I've gone to hypnotherapy. I've passed through all kinds of gates in my life. I've got a master's degree. I've worked on a PhD, a doctorate in Chinese literature, So I've got my shit together. And who are you to even question me that? Where's your credibility? Are you a doctor? And it's like, no, well, you're not a doctor. He's just a buttered sausage is what he is. But yeah, he ended up making like 4. So he mined some content out of it though. He made like 4 videos. Homie's racking in the views.
Buttered sausages glide in easier than unbuttered sausages. Right?
Yeah, what do you think about buttered sausage? Do you like it? Is that your jam?
I don't eat that much sausage to be honest. I mean, I eat steak, chicken, but even then I'm offending KJV, who's a vegan even.
Yeah, I put the name of Buttered Sausage's channel in the private chat, so you can see it if you go in the back. But yeah, that's what it's called. Anyway, no big deal. Yeah. I haven't been over to Jack's for a while either, though. He's doing shorter and shorter shows now. Like he was only at an hour for the longest amount of time. Then he got them up to about 2 hours, and now I think he's trying to keep all of them under 2 hours, right? so he wants to cut off under the 2-hour point. He said that the YouTube AI will break it into clips if he does that. Then he can pull clips and make shorts.
Oh
wow.
YouTube AI. Okay.
He's gotten to a new level then.
Yeah, he's leveled up. He's entered the matrix.
Frank, I've noticed that you have you like Jack way more than anybody else on this. what the fuck is up with that?
I'll tell you why. And like, yeah, that's right, to an extent. The reason is because, yeah, voice calling.
He admits to it. KGV, come on. He says, yeah.
Well, let me explain. Like I said, when I came in at like ground level, like sewage level. You know, I came up out of the sewers of the Panelverse, and I was down there with like a stanky ass monster. You know, like rolling around in a diaper, 400 pounds, salivating all over the rug and pissing and shitting everywhere. And so Jack was the second person I found. I believe either Jack or Flow State in the Panelverse, and like it was like night and day. You know, like Jack was easygoing, he didn't really give a fuck. He's pushing this like basic spiritual message that tends toward Christianity and like faith in Christ and this kind of thing, but he wasn't like overwhelming with it. And then at the same time, he offers kind of a low ground for people to come on and battle out their ideas. But he is a bit of a mod god, I'll admit that now. And over the course of time, my opinion has wavered, either waning both positive and negative. But in general, I think that for the most part, he tries to run a pretty mellow show and gives people the opportunity to come up and talk a little shit once in a while or interact with his message and stuff like that. But it does have a tendency to be overly megalomaniacal. Is that the right word?
Yeah. Thank you for noticing that. But then again, I didn't want to put your feet to the fire, but I did.
No, and everyone again, does that. All the panel.
No, but then again, I think you gave me one of the best answers that I've heard. For Jack.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. He is. I mean, he is all that you said there, and yeah. I mean, yeah. Thank you.
I like Jack all right, and it's not just that. I like sometimes hearing the various opinions of different people who come up. I notice that it is a pretty low-level crowd most of the time. There's mostly rabble, But there are occasionally ideas that bounce back and forth that do have some consistency or light in them, and it's not even so much that. It's more just like the idea of general optimism towards fellowship. I think that's what he's trying to offer. But it is what it is. And he's go ahead.
I like that you word it that way, fellowship.
Okay.
And I think he offers that. But yeah. Well, I don't want to contest it. I think
no, and he's not overbearing. He's only doing a couple hours a day, but he's consistent too. Like he pretty much he broadcasts for his hour and a half, 2 hours every single day, and that's one thing I think people look for is the reliability of being able to tune in, Yeah, that's the same whole truth with Flow State. Like Flow State, the casino's always open, Yeah. KJV, it seems like you've done some regular live transmissions recently too, but you work a lot too, and then at the same time, like you don't have like sometimes your internet doesn't have the best connection. And that's the same with me too.
Yeah, I mean, I do work a lot Monday to Friday. Even I do the odd Saturdays, Sundays here and there. But when I do get a bit of free time, it's either with the family or doing some research. And then if I get more free time, then I might go live and say what's up.
Yeah, right. That's the same with me. Like I'm on vacation right now, so I work, at a high school. I'm able to take the whole summer off, which is pretty fucking cool. But I got some shit I got to start getting into over the next couple of weeks.
And get paid in the meanwhile. Right?
That's right.
Brilliant.
That's right. Salaried position.
That's
very
the best
nice.
part.
Yeah. I think that's the best times when the teachers are happy that they got their job is in the 6-week holidays, right?
Oh man,
That's right. That's right.
I mean,
I work 9
who
months a
else
year and
gets-
get paid for 12.
Who the fuck else gets 6 weeks holiday? Come on.
Damn.
Well, yeah, I get 3 months a year holiday, so I work 9 months out of the year and get paid for 12. Yeah, it's kind of nice.
Nice. Brilliant.
At the same time, it brings a lot of benefits to my children, putting them through education, because it keeps me active in doing that process, like, getting kids into college and stuff. So I kind of got a little bit more of a handle on it. And I don't know, when I was a kid, man, I wanted more than anything just to get the fuck out of school and never look back. And the funny thing is, I got trapped, man, and I've been in academia my entire life now.
You're being one of them now.
That's right. I went
You're
from
one of
college
the
to teacher.
school appropriators. Fuck, dude.
So yeah, be very, very careful how you push against the machine, right? I could have done other things though, but
you are the living evidence of the saying that you will become what you will fight.
That's right. That's right. You gotta be careful. That's why. Queen Steffi needs to stop talking about that hell realm.
How do you say that? How do you say that in Feng Shui Sun Tzu language? You will what you will fight, you will become. How do you say that?
你反对什么，你就成为什么。That's one way. Yeah, 你反对什么，你就成为什么。
你反对什么，你反对什么。
That's right. Whatever you fight against,
right.
you become.
That's right. That's
right.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, there's other pithy expressions like that too, like the one where they say energy flows where attention goes. I think that's how we say it in English.
Mm-hmm.
But they've got the same expression in Chinese, but it's a little different and it sounds kind of.
That's right.
No, it's 意道, 气道, 学行, or wherever the intention goes, the qi will follow, and wherever the qi goes, like materialization will occur. So it's interesting in Chinese, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes more sense.
No.
That's
right. You could say that too, boy. You could say 你吃什么，你就是什么, right? Whatever you eat, you become. You are what you eat, right? You are what you eat.
Did I say that?
Yeah, that's what you said. Fucking up all over the place and still saying shit.
Hey, KJP, I can speak Chinese.
Apparently, yeah. I heard it for myself. Yeah, I just heard it.
Yeah, that's right. That's funny, man. Good stuff. And you guys, both you guys probably got a lot of Chinese folks in your area. I could teach you some hardcore shit to say. Go down to Chinatown and get your ass kicked. You got to know Lao Wai. If you guys don't know Lao Wai means foreign devil or foreigner, like outsider. And all Chinese call all foreigners Lao Wai. So, yeah, Lao Wai. That's a fun one.
How do you
so even if it's
so how do I say yourself in Chinese?
Like I am or you are? Which one?
No, look, you are yourself, Lao Wai.
Okay, yeah. 你自己是老外。
那自己是老外。
Yeah, 你自己是老外. That's right. 你自己是老外. But it's much easier. Chinese grammar.
I think I can say that better when I'm drunk.
Yeah, and Chinese is much simpler. Like in the Chinese language, the grammar is very simplified. So you can say things very straightforward and very directly without using like overly educated grammar. So like the way I said that would be more like a collegiate, like an educated person saying it. Whereas a person off the street would just say 你老外 or 你就是老外, like something like that.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with this drink, Frank? Give me a second.
This drink?
Yeah, see me backstage?
No. Machina,
Yeah, I'm getting a bunch of static. I think my internet's turning to shit over here. Can you guys still hear me okay?
Yeah. And
All right,
you see my screen? right there.
Yeah, I can hear you guys, but it's coming in and out. But I can see like I've got my little indicator down there, and I've got like less than 1 bar of connection. I don't know why.
Can you see my screen sharing at the bottom?
Oh, maybe if I turn that off, huh? Yeah, I might drop that.
I'm trying to show you a drink that I had.
Oh, you're sharing your screen.
Yeah.
Okay. Should I pop it up here?
Yes, please.
It's safe for children, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Good magic. Here we go. Yeah, that's Chinese Pijo. That's Yenjing Pijo, I believe. Let me see. I can't see the can.
It looks like fucking Heineken and Amstel.
It does.
Well, that's Taiwan. Yeah, Taiwan.
KGV. Yeah,
Taiwan
does.
Pijo.
Yeah,
Very
well,
nice.
it's Heineken and Amstel, I'm sure.
Yeah, I went to my brother's house the other day, and these are the 2 drinks that I had.
Yeah, the top right above that in the red characters, it says Jin Pai or Golden Brand. Oh, and it says it below too. Okay, I see it now. Golden Medal. Yeah, Jin Pai Gold Medal brand. And then Taiwan Pijo. How funny. And that one's like pineapple flavored Pijo, huh?
What?
How interesting. Or mango flavored beer.
Mango,
what is that?
Yeah. Mango it was.
You can't have
Okay.
mango flavored beer.
Chinese drink some
No.
funky ass shit.
No. No.
Yeah, boy, it was nice, man. It was nice.
Was it nice? Oh, how funny.
Mm.
Man.
Yeah,
that's-
that can looks like a mainland can too, though. That color of green and red, like they're doing on the one on the left, that's one of the most standard beer cans in China. They all look like that.
Oh, mainland.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got this funny story
I'd
about
love to go
buying
to-
beer once from a Chinese snack bar, and I don't like normal beers like Heineken or Amstel, right? And so I went to this Chinese snack bar. I would like to buy that beer and that beer and that beer, and she
Yeah.
took them off the shelf, and she looked at the date. She said, "Well, this one's gone beyond the date. That one's gone beyond the date. That one's gone beyond the, and this one's gone beyond the date too." I said, "Well, so now what?" And she said, "Well, you get them for free."
Wow.
I said, Thank
That's
you.
nice.
I just walked away without paying anything. Yeah.
Oh, a little bit of
I
good
don't
magic
like
right
normal
there.
beers, dude. I just don't like normal beers. But
You lucky devil.
yeah. Good magic.
Yeah,
dude.
I like decent beers sometimes. Not so often though. Maybe once or twice a month now I'll drink a couple of beers. Sometimes when I was doing some live streaming in the past recently, I got a little bit drunk and I found out pretty fast that's a bad idea. Like you don't say anything. I don't know how to say anything worthwhile when I've had a couple of drinks in me. So I think I should avoid that. No drinking and live streaming.
Well, you can be tipsy, but not drunk.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, you gotta keep it under control. Otherwise, it just goes way too far off into left field.
Not too much sake.
That's right. Yeah, you saw me drinking a little bit of that sake. Yeah, you were tuning in when I was back at the hotel. I'm at home now. But I'll hopefully, if everything goes the way I'm planning, then I'm going to have a really nice little studio apartment that I'm going to be living in next year. And then I'll be able to set up like a proper like streaming studio. And like in the evenings, I'll come home a couple of times per week. And then on the weekend and be able to actually like turn on my camera worth of shit, and not just be sitting in the kitchen in my fucking underwear. You know what I mean?
Don't do that. Nobody likes that. I mean, just the other day when you were showing your naked upper body,
Yeah.
and just to relieve you from that shame, I showed my naked body too.
Yeah,
And
nobody
I
wants
still-
to see that, huh?
Nobody wants to see that, right? Every girl in
No.
chat laughed at us. They laughed at us. It's just,
No,
dude,
that's
we
okay.
didn't want to see it. But well,
I like the idea of a studio setup though, where you can like show regalia, show things that you're talking about and stuff like that. And so I've had
wanna
a couple of good
You want
setups.
to show us? You want to show us your fucking samurai sword, don't you?
Yeah, I want to show you my magic wand and my paper fan and my samurai sword and my pointy hat and my Masonic apron and all that happy horse shit. Yeah, that'd be fun.
we'd love to see it.
Yeah. So hopefully that's what I'm looking forward to. But that'll be like let's see, when do we go back to school? September.
2 months from now.
Yeah, September. So we got the rest of July, then all of August, and then we'll start back in September. Yeah, it's good though. It's been good to be on vacation, have a little time, talk to you guys, get some fellowship going on. I've learned some shit. I picked up some stuff from KJV. It was nice to talk with Into Squares today, man. He has some cool stuff on his channel. What is his? Do you know his channel name, KJV? Is it just End of Squares? I think it might be. So if you guys get a chance, do you know him, Voy?
No. I have no idea who the guy is that you're talking about.
Okay. He's only got 2 videos on his channel. Both of them are like 3 hours long. Like one's 2.5, 2 and 15, and the other one's 2 and 50. So they're both about like Masonic architecture in Nashville, Tennessee, and like different things that go on around there. So it's kind of interesting. He's got some old world architecture. He makes some connections to like Masonic art and different concepts like Fibonacci sequence and golden ratio and this kind of thing. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't watched his videos yet, but KJV was looking through one on his stream earlier today.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let me hear more about it, KJV.
Well, it's more or less what Frank was saying, but this was the first time I actually played his material on my channel, boy, and he turned up in the chat room.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's not like he knew I was gonna play his material. He just was scouring the internet apparently, and he came across my channel and I was playing his stuff. All right, so
divine.
Yeah.
There was like divine intervention.
Yeah, exactly. So I had him and Frank backstage. It's fucking awesome just to listen to both of them go back and forth, man. Brilliant stuff.
Yeah, I got to ask you about that, KJV. Do you think that some people like actually get notified when other people talk about them or use their content? I mean, maybe there was some sort of like copyright notification or something.
I mean, of course. I mean, if you can think of it, Frank, there's somebody else that already developed that algorithm 15 years ago.
Yeah, because sometimes I'll just mention someone or start talking about them or doing a show about them or whatever, then they show up. Yeah. It's like, that's kind of weird because they've never shown up before, you know?
I think it was called ICQ back in the day.
I remember that. Yeah, I was on ICQ. Yeah. Yeah, that was Chinese, wasn't it? Or it got bought out by Tencent, QQ.
No, I don't know that, but that's pretty much the algorithm from where it went.
Yeah, that was like early 90s, man, or mid 90s.
Yeah.
That was quite a while ago. Yeah, in China, ICQ morphed into QQ, and then QQ turned into Renren Wong, and then Renren Wong and QQ both turned into what is now WeChat. So WeChat is like the modern ICQ for Chinese.
Mm-hmm. Oh. And like WhatsApp is pretty. It's basically also ICQ, or everything is ICQ these days.
Yeah,
ICQ
that's right. That's right. Yeah. That's like the most popular format.
Yeah. It's like, where are you? What are you doing? Yeah.
Right. And you can send files, picture files, video files, documents, and stuff directly. Yeah, it's good stuff. I was really bought into the whole one they were doing here. In fact, I worked with a team from QQ, the guys who were developing the software in its incipient phases, like 2009. It didn't launch until 2011. And like a whole group of young college guys, like tech heads, tech encoders and like artists and everything, they came and they bought an entire semester of my classes and just came in to ask me questions about social media and what I liked about it, what I disliked, what I thought would look good going into the future, and this kind of thing. And I didn't even know they were doing research. And then later on, I found out that they all
so much money.
Wow. Yeah. Later on, I found out that they all worked for QQ, and I'm like, these guys were in my fucking classroom, in my office, hanging out in my classes, 6 hours a day for the last fucking 4 months or something. And then they launched the new platform, and I was like, motherfucker, I feel like I just got cheated somehow.
Yeah. Sounds like
Yeah,
it.
so that's it. Yeah, that's how they do it. They're smart, man. They're not stupid people over here. They do a lot of copycatting, and they know what's up. But they were already copying shit anyway. It wasn't like I was giving them golden nuggets or anything, but they were working. They were just working on their laptops and hanging out.
No, you
acting
did.
like-
You know, listen, Frank. These soulless people that were creating, developing software recognize the soul in you. Why? Because they know how software works and they know how the machines work. They say, oh, this guy's weird. Like, what the fuck? This guy's weird.
Oh, now it makes sense.
Yeah.
Now I see why there's Timu. You're the reason for Timu, Frank.
Yeah.
Might be in part. Huh? No, at least that's one platform that I did have direct like interaction with. I don't know of any others. Who knows, you know? Like, and when you think about that in retrospect and you think, damn, how many spies have been in and out, you know, just hanging out and gathering ideas and shit. And you're right, too, to some extent, boy. Like, it could even promote a more creative workspace for them because they can be working on their ideas, you know, and if they get bored or they don't have anything coming to mind, then they got all this creativity pouring forth into them, you know?
Yeah, well, not anymore because they just have your personality run down in their system, so they're never gonna need you again. You know, that's
right. That's right. They
cracked
cracked the code.
Yeah,
they already got it on lockdown. That's all right. I still got my own gig going on, and ultimately, yeah, it seems like that's the whole direction everything's turning. Is that it's ostracizing the human element and everything, and that can't be successful, man. Because I don't know. I don't know, man. It just doesn't seem like it can be. Ultimately, it's the direction the tech heads want it to go, but I think they're going to fail in the end. The human element's going to win.
Oh!
We're going to bring down Skynet.
Do you think so? Don't you?
There's.
I hear what
there's
you're
gotta
saying,
be
but when you say that, it sounds to me like God is like humans are going to win from God, right? Because humans are going to build this mighty tower that reaches to the dome, and then they're going to touch God, right? It's pretty much like the story of Babel. Once again, that's what I see.
Well, I just have more faith in like extremes oscillating and contracting themselves. So like if anything goes in any direction to an extreme, then it just gives birth to its opposite, and the pendulum swings. I think this one axiom, it must somehow be true, right? We see it playing out all throughout history. If we, for whatever credit we can give to any historic record, that the pendulum swings in one direction than the other. And so there has to be some offset.
Don't you think that the Tower of Babel and this AI thing, the Tower of Babel reaching to the sky, is actually a good metaphor to use for AI? I think it is.
Yeah, you think there's some related allegory there, like a...
Not some. It's totally relatable. It's like the
exactly
best
what it is, huh?
Forever. Yeah, but you are willing to deny that, and I'm just like, what? How?
Well, no, I don't know. I haven't ever heard the idea presented that way. I'd have to, contemplate it for a while and think about it.
No, don't play innocent. Don't play innocent on me. Don't do that. No, but don't you think that AI is like a big finger to God?
Somehow, right? Like with our new earbuds, Rick, remember the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? That's like the Babel fish now. And the software is already there. You can, they haven't freely distributed the software, but it's there. They're already translating in real time all languages, and it can be done so real easy now, right? And really quick. And so you could essentially have a Babel fish where you can sit and listen in any language. And then if another person's wearing one, you guys could speak to each other, no problem, with direct real-time translation and at a really high level.
The thing is, I do appreciate the Babel fish, but the thing is, I never took a hitchhike with the Vogons. So how the fuck did I get the Babel fish?
Right. And here's the thing: it's the Tower of Babel that supports the Babelfish's technology, right? And so that tower is reaching to the heavens to unite all languages.
So now I have the Babelfish in my ear, and I can actually hear the poetry of the Vogons, and I'm disgusted. Once again. Once again. Their poetry is translated into my ears, and it still is disgusting. It's almost like, I mean, no, I will not go there.
And you're on a spaceship headed.
The Vogons,
right
what
to
the
the
Vogons have
party.
to say doesn't translate into any language to be anything good. You know, is
that right? Oh,
that is the poetry of the Vogons. Yeah, okay, I'll stop it there.
No, it's good. It's good. And I could see the logic in that. I can see the reasoning in that. And what's interesting to me too is this tech that we're using right now. Like, it's not something new or revolutionary. In fact, they've been giving us increasingly downgraded versions of it, not upgraded ones. Like you mentioned ICQ a little while ago. There was a software program that you could load on like a Microsoft Windows platform, like 93, Windows 93 or whatever that was. And it had real-time translation software. It was a Chinese company called Dragon Rider, and it had speech to text, and it had real-time translation. And that was 30 years ago. And so, like, integrating ICQ with real-time translation and speech to text, that's all 30-year-old technology, and we still have it in a really like truncated, limited application for end users. You know what I mean? So they don't want to put these powerful tools in our hands anyway.
No, it's 30 years, 40 years. That's what they need, right? That's the distance that they need. That's the shortest explanation that I can give, right? If you know what I mean.
Explain, expand on that a little bit.
Well, I mean, you can have your sibling, or you can have your child come up with a new technology, and the father not knowing about it, the mother not knowing about it, right? And then the child grows up and has his own children, and then the mother and the father dies, and they never knew of the technology, but still it's here. And their son, and they actually developed it. That's what I mean.
Yeah. And so within just a couple of generations, you can
just two generations, just 40 years, 30, 40 years. That's it.
Right. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, I mean, this is the world that we're living in.
It is, yeah, it is. That's the way they do it. Some kind of circular logic.
Yeah.
Well, it seems to keep everyone barking like Pavlov's dog.
What do you mean?
What? Hey, the Tower of Babel. Where was that meant to be located?
Babylon.
Was it in Babylon itself? Yeah.
Yeah. Where's Babylon? It's in Iran, right?
Baghdad.
Yeah, Baghdad.
Okay.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they might have mentioned another city, but I'm not a biblical scholar of any means.
Well, you did more biblical scholaring than KGV and me together. So.
Yeah, I read it in primary school, Sunday school. About the only education I got in the Bible, and some studies into the esoteric, but that's mostly Hermetic sciences.
Yeah, I'm not well versed in the Bible, only from what I can vaguely remember, but it wasn't much anyway. So yeah, I've never been into the Bible like that really. It's only until I've come of a certain age, certain things intrigue me when I've been on this truth, or quote unquote truth journey. Right, go back to the Bible for little references, but yeah, I don't go into the religious thing.
No, I don't for a good extent either. To some extent, I do. But for the most part, what I'm interested in is like spiritual science, or what I call, or what has been called spiritual science. And so oh yeah, it's kind of a different thing. I think maybe with some attributes, like obviously the stories are all there, but you look at it from a different perspective.
I mean, even around the world, they've all got the same the same story, just told slightly different, right? But it's still telling the same story, and the characters remain the same, but just a different name.
Right, that's true. And like having experienced, culture totally different to my own, I found that there are a lot of crossovers. One of the things that really attracted me about the Chinese perspective and some of the aspects of it is that it seems to be a very simplified system. Like they boiled everything down. The early Taoists, anyway, they boiled everything down into really easily understandable ideas and terminology. At least once you learn, the basics of their language, and like so, it's all very like clearly delineated. There, it doesn't make it very. Well, what's the word I want to say? How do I want to describe it? It just seems to be much easier to approach than many of the other traditions.
Einfach.
Well, it's funny you say that, right? Because even though when I hear some of the old folklores of the from the Asian side, right? Eastern side, and it's like some of it kind of like goes hand in hand with what I've been looking at, but because the language, right, and the characters of the words, the language in these things, these characters, it kind of makes me want to stay away from it because it seems difficult.
Yeah, it does present a barrier. There is like a learning curve, and when I say easily approachable, I mean from the perspective of like conceptualization. With the language as a barrier, that took me 15 to 20 years just to overcome the basic entry level of the Chinese language. So that is a thing.
So to bridge that gap of 15 or 20 years, and you having a better understanding of these connotations or definitions in the Eastern mythology, how would you describe Ketu, and how would you describe Rahu?
Oh,
I mean, I'm talking about the moon, right? And these are the first conceptions of the moon. So, would you know about like a general description in English or even Deutsch, for that matter, to talk about
that's
it, right? And
I wouldn't know, but I would love to hear something that you would have to say on it, because those aren't things that I'm overly familiar with.
I won't even go there. I'm just as confused as KGV is, and since you are the master of the East, to our YouTube fringe, I thought you would be the one to say so.
Spell the word for me. I wasn't familiar with it. What is it? Ketu? Ketu?
Yeah, Ketu. Yeah, and Rahu. R-A-H-U.
R what?
R-A-H-U.
Kehu and Rahu, Dasha meaning Ketu, Rahu. The story behind Rahu and Ketu and their significance. Are these Hindu?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's probably why I would have no familiarity with them.
We're still lost, KGP. We're still lost. Fuck.
Yeah, I haven't made any connections between Chinese Tao and the Hindu teachings, but I've looked into it very, very little. In honest, it says this is Vedic astrology, right?
Yeah, it's also integrated in Western astrology.
Okay.
Rahu, Ketu, but yeah,
like theosophy integrated a lot of it, right? And anthroposophy.
Yeah.
In Hindu mythology, the origin of Rahu and Ketu could be traced back to the story of the churning of the cosmic ocean by the gods and the demons. During this event, a celestial nymph named Mohini distracted the demons, allowing the gods to consume the nectar of immortality. However, a demon named Swarbanu disguised himself as a god and also drank the nectar. The sun and the moon discovered the deception and altered Lord Vishnu and became Rahu. A beheaded Swarbanu became Rahu. His body became Ketu. Oh, interesting. No. Only similar story for a moon goddess is Chang'e, but it's an entirely different cosmology. Yeah, so I haven't made any connections between Hindu. The Chinese have some of it in like the trappings of Buddhism, lots of Buddhism in China, but I've stayed away from Buddhism because it's not pure Tao. It doesn't, except for the Zen variety. The Zen variety contains some Taoist philosophy and koans. But for the most part, no, I've stayed away from Buddhism because I'm not interested in the study of it. But I find it interesting.
Even Buddha wasn't interested in Buddhism.
Good for him, right?
I read Buddha, and what he was interested in was Dharma, right?
That's
Science.
right. That's right.
Science.
Yeah. So like Taoism,
boy, he was interested in science. Did you say, boy?
Yeah, Dharma. Dharma. You know, there's Dhamma, which is like karma, and then there's Dhamma, which is like C and D. It's like third phase, fourth phase, right?
And Dhamma in Chinese it means cannabis.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's right.
Nice. Right. Yeah, like knowledge, right? It means knowledge. Like the ganja is the knowledge, right? The knowledge.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
No, I believe the Taoists took a more scientific perspective too, because they made extensive records and they made star charts and they codified all of the index of herbs in the entire Central Kingdom and like their medicinal qualities and all of the various animals. And so, yeah, they were very, cataloging, putting things into categories and making categorical records and stuff like this. But they were also very interested in science and experimentation. It's how they arrived at things like, gunpowder and the compass and silk clothing and Chinese medicine. And all of this was based on their alchemy.
Yeah.
And a lot of it tied in with deeply spiritual experiences and spiritual influence as well. Almost all of these things arose out of antiquity with some sort of legendary allegory, right? Like when Huangdi, one of the first Yellow Emperors, was engaging in battle, that's when like a divine entity came to him and taught him how to make cannons and the compass. And like that's where he charged the iron needle on the silk of his clothing and then dropped it on a leaf on top of water in a wheelbarrow. And so they made like this makeshift compass in order to be able to track down these so-called beast tribes of only semi-human savages that were in their realm that were supposedly, preying on them and killing their people and stuff. I don't know if you know about the Yellow Emperor and the Battle of the 18 Beast Tribes. Probably haven't heard of it, I would imagine.
No, it rings a bell. But
okay. But yeah, that's where they came up with
Kevin says weed, Veda, right? I know. Veda.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, Veda. The Vedas.
Well, there you go. There's a linguistic connection between Dharma and Chinese and cannabis and weed. How funny.
So what? How do you say "I know" in Chinese?
That would be different. That would be 我知道. In Mandarin. In Cantonese, it would be 我知 why moji.
Why moji? I know it.
Yeah, but no, Chinese. I speak Mandarin, the northern language. So it's 我知道.
我知道. That's just hard to say.
Yeah, they've got quite a few sounds that are just totally uncommon in Western languages.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like can't even go there. Sounds like Mordor.
But that being said, like they lack a ton of the sounds in our languages that we have that we use quite often, and that's why,
Hello.
like, it's always a big
Hello.
challenge for them to overcome that. And yeah, they end up speaking pidgin a lot of times. Yeah. What you mean? What you mean I'm not a good guy?
That's funny. Oh man.
You always say you the
other
white
thing-
family, and you the white family, we the Wong family. Nothing wrong with our family.
Hey, do you know what? The other day, boy, I was listening to something, right? And it was an Asian person speaking in their language, right? But the first thing they said was, "Shut the fuck up!" It was bloody hilarious, bro. I couldn't believe it. That was the only
that's
English
funny.
thing I understood was "Shut the fuck up." But you can imagine it in the little voice, you know, the Asian.
Yeah, I mean, and people, how do you say that they will weave it into their own language. Every language, even Russian, has fucking into it.
Yeah.
Like, my Dutch language also, people use fucking, you know, instead of godverdomme. And I'm like, why don't you use godverdomme? Why do you use fucking? It's a foreign word. But they used that to make it sound more. How do you say this? To put the accent on it, right?
Where's that thing I wanted to show you guys? Actually, this was quite wholesome. Something I came across the other day. I want to share it with you guys.
Yeah, bring it up. What do you got? Show us what you got.
Shut the fuck up! And now we're talking Chinese.
That's right. You shut fuck up. You shut stupid mouth. I come over here. I slap you in mouth.
Stupid white guy. Stupid white guy.
Why you
Shut
so
the fuck
crazy?
up with your American language.
Why are you so crazy all the time?
Why are you so crazy?
Yeah. You should buy my egg roll. We have bigger egg roll. You don't go to Vietnamese restaurant. They have tiny egg roll. Our egg roll big and delicious.
I make you happy all time. Long time,
That's right.
all time. Little money.
Got that big Chinese egg roll, baby. What's happening? You going down the street Korean restaurant, they got them little tiny egg rolls. ain't nothing satisfying about that. Oh, so funny.
Where's this thing?
Tiny egg roll. I don't like tiny egg roll. I don't want big egg roll. Big egg roll.
Mexicans make a burrito. The egg roll's so big it ain't even called an egg roll.
I want Mexican egg roll. Mexican.
Oh, yeah, I found it now. There we go.
Yeah, you got it.
Need
All right.
share screen.
Okay, let me see. Okay, there it is there.
Uh-oh.
I got you. Roll tape.
About. Time. Today. Teacher. Student.
Yeah, these guys are Chinese. Hiyo, yeah, hiyo.
Studente. Are you a student of university?
One who do. One food do. One food do. Offerte.
Are these your children,
Yeah.
Frank? Are these your
Yeah,
children?
they're very similar. That's right. Well, the reason is in their alphabet. When they learn the alphabet, they learn it like all of those sounds will be those things. So a T won't be T; it'll be T, right? So they've got they've got an alphabet, a phonetic system called the Bopomofo. So when they're learning the alphabet, even the English alphabet, they learn them out of order, and they learn them like Bopomofo, Kusher, and so each one has a totally different sound than in English. And so when they start learning English and they're looking at the English alphabet, it reminds them of their pinyin system. And so they try to read it just like they would their Chinese pinyin from like grade school. And yeah, so that's where that problem comes from. But yeah, it's very accurate, extremely accurate. That's exactly how Chinese kids learning English sound. That was funny. I'll give you an example of one that I hear all the time. Ladies and the gentlemen.
The lady and the gentleman, yeah,
ladies and gentlemen. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Would you like a glass of tomato juice?
Shit, that was funny.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Sankayo we la maucher. So thank you very much. Is Sankayo we la maucher.
What?
Gentlemen. You are a very lovely gentleman. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Y'all are killing me.
Your all bases are mine, right? And this like
that's right. All your base is mine.
Yeah,
that's right. That was the good stuff, man. Those were the days of Movie Masters and ICQ.
All your bases,
old school. Yeah. Voy coming in with the old school. Gentlemen, man, it's been fun. I gotta run though. My wife is giving me shit. She's got some shit she needs to do. She needs my attention.
Hey Frank,
just tell her, Frank. Just tell her.
One more thing before you go, Frank. I got her backstage for you. Just before we head out.
Okay. Yeah. Pop it up here. She says she want to rub me wrong time. I said it is the wrong time. What you talking about, baby? I rub you wrong time. What the fuck? That was fucking evil, man.
Tell everyone. Everyone.
Oh, that's so good. Oh, man. Motherfucker ain't having it. He straight ain't having it. God damn, that's harsh right there. Like
that's what happens to the Fu Manchu, dude. That's what happens.
That's right. They love their mustaches too, man.
We'll do this dance
I
again,
appreciate you.
Definitely.
Yes, good magic. You got any final words for the people at home, London?
Stay positive, and always have good ideas. Always have good ideas. Keep those ideas.
Yeah, that's right. I like that. That's good magic, man. I appreciate you, London, baby. Oh, Voy, he dipped out without saying goodbye. What the fuck's up with that? Get your ass back up here, Voy.
Ciao. Ciao on Voy's behalf, everybody. Ciao on Voy's behalf. Much love, Frank. Much love. Peace to the chat room.
Yeah. Much love to you. Let me pop your channel in the ideas room. Let them know one more time. There it is, there, guys. You guys go check out London Man and sub up, show the love. Like his videos, all that happy fun stuff, man. Yeah, you do the French leaves, huh? What the fuck, boy? That shit ain't cute, man. He's like, never say goodbye, say see you again. Yeah, I appreciate you guys coming up for the last hour. Yeah, we did a good show, man. You brought the real fire, KJV and Voy. Callum and out in the ideas room, man. I really appreciate you guys. A lot of love. Much love for everyone coming by to say hello. Hanging out with old Frank Monday here in the Central Kingdom of the Celestial Dragon. Getting busy once again like Finnegan, guys. Keep doing good magic. Ricardo Sunshine was here. Moonrocks, good to see you, man. Much love to you, brother. I'm going through the list here. Lord Racer was here earlier in the show. Good looking out. Good magic to you, friend. We also had Capricorny. Capricorny, thanks for stopping by. Much love, beloved. I hope you are doing well. Brian Roy was here, everyone. Good to see Brian Roy. I hope you're holding down the fort, mate. Keep holding down the fort. Let's see, is that everybody? I believe I mentioned everybody. If I forgot you, I apologize. And I look forward to seeing you again in the future. If it was your first time, don't let it be your last time. Yeah, just back on a short break. Okay, good to see you, Capricorny. Much love to you, Much love to you, Voy, Callum, KJV, everybody out in Happy Land. Y'all good looking, sexy people. Keep doing good magic. I'll sign off real quick with the invocation of total integration. If you know it, say it with me, man. Here it goes. Let me find it. Check me out on buymeacoffee.com. As per usual, remember, no new horror can be more terrible than the daily torture of the commonplace. That's why we got to break through the equation. And it's very simple. It's very simple. You have a mighty power within that can bring you 1,000 blessings, like brought in by chariots pulled by 8 rushing horses. Yeah, it's good magic, man. You can do it. You can do it. Just keep your nose to the grindstone. Invocation of total integration, guys. Heaven and earth are the spontaneous manifestations of the subtle, wondrous universal law. As the original oneness expresses itself, gross and subtle energies become distinctly divided. Our bodily caves are brightly illuminated by the mysterious light from the 3 sources, our 3 Dantian, bridge points leading to immortality. The powerful spirits of the 8 directions conjoin my being with the true origin of life. By the absolute order, the divine Ling Bao and the highest 9th heaven send the positive energies of Qianlo, Dana, Dunkan, and Taishuan to destroy my spiritual obstacles and debilitate any evil influence. This order is given by the highest sovereignty. It is a jade oracle from the subtle origin. I invoke with strong sincerity to drive away the demons and evils and lengthen my healthy years. The attained spirits respond. The evil demon king Wa Wong is chained to stand as our garden servant. The powerful atmosphere has been generated, dispersing all negativity, and the chi of Tao is everlasting. So it is commanded and confirmed. So mote it be. Remember, O neophyte, goodness alone is power, silence is strength, will regaineth omnipotence, and love lieth at the foundation. If any of you guys are going live later, definitely let me know. Throw it in the ideas room here, put it in the chat room, and I'll come over and check you out later. I just got a couple of things I need to take care of, and I might KJV, I'll join you later, or Voy, or anybody else who is getting busy. If not, I will see you on the next transmission. Until then, keep doing good magic, stay level-headed, and I think you'll be okay. Much love and bye for now.